How's it going, boys and girl? Hope everyone is having a wonderful Monday. I was scheduled to come back tomorrow, but I've got a few plans tomorrow, so there's a chance that I won't be able to get online. So I figured, why not just jump on today, have a little bit of a chat, see how everyone's doing. There's still a small possibility I might be able to turn up tomorrow, but just in case that doesn't happen, I didn't want to miss out the opportunity to hang out with everyone and say what's up. Obviously, I had a few technical difficulties yesterday with the camera and whatnot, so and with the laptop. So, how you doing, XO Raider? Yes, sir. How are you? How you doing, Paradox? What's good, brother? What is good? And how you doing? I feel so much more comfortable in the dark, which says a lot about me. How's everyone doing today? Howdy, Frank. How you doing, Crystal? What's good? What is good with you? Hope the week has started out very well for you. Nothing is good. Why is that? Is there anything that's particularly bad? Sorry to hear that, bro. I hope things pick up for you. I'm saying to you as well, Paradox. Yeah, you need to start doing verticals, bro. Just got judo throwed into someone's knee by a heavyweight. Wait, was this just randomly, or was this while actually training? I feel like context is important here. Sounds like a good. I mean, you're gonna have to take some bumps if you're learning. That's part of the game. I mean, if you're training and stuff, if you're not being put in any danger, what's the point, isn't it? Did you quit? I don't know why I brought that up. Other than that, everything's blessed. All right, not too bad then. All right, man. Sounds good. I'm glad that you're getting around to training. I'm sure that will do you a lot of good. When did you start this? When did you start training? I don't think I've heard you bring this up before. I've been thinking about it myself, like getting back into the gym properly. I jumped on a treadmill this morning, and I gotta say, yeah, it felt dog shit. I hated every second of it. I did like 20 minutes of incline, and I wanted to die. It's been like 6 months since I've been on a treadmill, and I did not miss it. How you doing, Luca? What's good, man? Don't know how I'm conscious. Well, you're a massive Chad, mate. That's probably how. How you doing, Keely Anderson? Another potential female in the chat. What's going on? Choose one. Tom and Jerry versus Family Guy. Tom and Jerry all day long. Family Guy is shit. Take the fake background off. Cunt. I just got a treadmill. Yeah. I've had one for like a year and a half, and they're fucking expensive. I didn't get as much use out of it as I probably should, but yeah. Tom and Jerry all day. Yeah, Family Guy is absolute dog shit. Hate it. But nice to see you, Althea. Gone looked damn good. I think everyone's overhyping how good he looked, to be fair. Do some jits or something, Frank. It's good for the soul. I guess jiu-jitsu would be something that I'd probably do. Tom and Jerry mog walks. Family Guy. I've never found Family Guy funny at all. I never appreciated it. I always thought it was dumb, non-connecting jokes that make no sense. I don't think I've ever once laughed at that shit. Sir, are you a football player? Oh, I appreciate the compliment, but no, man, I'm a nerd. I'm a nerdy professor. A 3-eye atlas. I mean, let's face it, if that's what it is, then that's more impressive. You smoke methamphetamines? No, I don't. Do I look like I do? Don't answer that question. But shout out to you, 750 volts. Asshole. What are your thoughts on the EDL? Is that the something defense league? Can you clarify that for me? Ronaldo or Messi? I say Messi every time, man. Messi is the natural GOAT, and Ronaldo is the GOAT of hard work. But if we're talking raw talent and just innate ability, it's Messi, and it's not even close. But Ronaldo has shown what you can do by busting your hump and working as hard as you can. So if anything, maybe he deserves more respect. How you doing, Tonke? How was the birthday? You kidnapped a 15-year-old peso. I don't really understand that comment. Do you know Heisenberg? Of course. Mm. Yeah, I don't really care about English. I don't really care about English pride because I'm not English. I am an Irishman, and we've got our own problems. You look like Jesse Pinkman. Yeah, I get that a lot. I get Jesse Pinkman. I get several other people. Hi, I'm from Afghanistan. Nice to meet you, Roman. One of my students is called Roman, and he's a whiny little bitch. Not that I'm saying that you are, but his is spelt with an A, Roman. Nice to meet you, and hope you're doing well there in Afghanistan. I've heard things are much better there than people claim. I thought you were English. Nah, I'm Irish, but I grew up in England. It didn't take long for me to have to say that again. You sound posh. You mean I sound like a fag? Is that what you mean? Fair enough, sir. I did grow up in England. So I grew up in London, hence why I sound like this. What do you teach? I teach English literature. How you doing, Ren? I just spent half of my day finishing off the planning I've got for next semester, so I'm pretty chuffed. Have you seen Dispatches? Honestly, it might be one of the games of all time. I've heard of it, but no, I haven't played it. What's it about? I'm assuming it's some kind of drug game. Dispatches. Oh, it's called Dispatch. This actually looks like it's all right. What's not to understand? You kidnapped a 15-year-old and you're a pedo. See, that's not what you said. That's not what you said. Your exact sentence in your shitty English was you kidnapped a 15-year-old peso. So fuck you, cunt. Um anyway, nice to see you, Ren. I'm talking yo. How big is your bratwurst? Oh my god. I've never measured it. It's a nice, decent size. Y'all think love is real or nah? I think love for your children is now that's not going to help the pedo accusation I just had. Love for your actual biological children is, but loving another person that's not blood, I don't know. Would you like to have some goat biryani? Hook me up, bro. No, it has to do with superheroes. Enlighten me. An Irishman posing as an Englishman teaching English, yeah, it is a bit more fucked up. Had more cunt than you, Jamie. You definitely haven't. Like, I don't know what you look like, but the energy I'm getting right now, I'm not. You're in somebody's chat calling somebody you don't know a pedo, and then you're claiming that you get pussy. The two things don't correlate, mate. Um, my major's in literature. Really, that's very very interesting. What were your favorite units? What did you enjoy studying the most? Relax, guys, or timeouts are coming. It's all right. What college or school do you work for? I'm not telling you, cunt, because I don't want to dox myself. Um, I love your British accent. I appreciate that, Ashir. I'm talking, yo. I'm not speak English. Yo, help me. Um, sure. I'll do the best I can. I'll try to keep it slow and easy for you. So much to go through. I would recommend listening to a playthrough of the Dispatchers game. It does. I like the art style on this, and it says it's an episodic adventure game. Hmm. I might give this a go. Is it possible to buy a physical copy of it? Okay, Musa, very clever. A nice Nazi symbol, mate. I can keep giving him the 60-second timeout just to take him off. Nah, that's fine. I'm not bothered. I'm not a very sensitive person. I don't mind. I liked and sub. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate that. Um, Where are you from, Roebuck RG? I'm surprised you've liked and subbed so quickly. I don't think I've earned that, to be fair, but appreciate it. How you doing, Ahmed Siddiqui? Nice to meet you, bro. Say hi. Hello, AHS hero. I am not. I am not. You got my IP. So what? What's your point, Jamie Bunce? You do know I'm using a VPN, right? But I'll give you my address. You're welcome to pull up, bro. If you're gonna come into someone's chat talking shit, you clearly got nothing better going on in your life. Afghanistan, Pakistan war. Are you asking me for like a? I would go beefier just because of I do like pork. I think it's very necessary for a good English, but I don't think when a steak is done really well, I don't think you can beat that. Where in the UK, bro? Where in the? I'm just gonna call you Rob. Where in the UK? I don't know. It's on stream. I think it's like $40. See, I only really buy unless a game's fucking amazing. I'd rather like, I'd rather buy the. I'd rather buy. I only really buy physical games. I still don't understand this 6-7 thing. Maybe someone can enlighten me. I know it's some kind of meme, but I still haven't seen it. My friend got robbed in London. London is not safe. It's absolutely not. I don't live in London now. I live in Cambridgeshire, but it's a it's a nice place to go and visit every now and then. I got robbed a couple of times in London. A couple times. It's a rite of passage living there, to be perfectly honest with you. There was one time, yeah, I got like absolutely battered in the street by like 4 dudes when I was 13, and they didn't even rob me. Apparently, it was just for fun. So, you pronounced almost perfectly my name. Nice. That's not something I do that often. The way it's structured, I think it's like 1 or 2 episodes per week. Really? I'm very interested. It's really ironic saying I look like gay by a man who calls himself Mr. Tinkles. Oh, 67 is a rap song turned brain rot. It sounds like I could avoid it. What do you think of Tom's eye poke? I really felt bad because he came back after such a long time. I've honestly been disgraced by the whole thing. I think the whole thing's disgraceful. The very fact that not only is it an argument that you quit or not, the fact that such a majority of people are saying that is crazy to me. Um, that was entirely Garn's fault. Do you do martial arts? I used to do judo and a bit of wrestling when I was younger, but 67 is something that a basketball player did like a moment and then came in with it and retarded kids glaze it. Yeah, that sounds about right. But Ren, you should definitely hang about because if you're a literature major, then I'd be very interested to pick your brain. Anal arts only, sure, buddy. Whatever makes you feel better. Those Muslim immigrants destroyed London. I think London was cooked way before that. Brother, what's your favorite fruit? Vagina. That's my favorite fruit. Are you Irish? I am, yeah, but I grew up in London. How large is your hole? Can your favorite fruit be accommodated by your hole? I, I mean, damn, it's a weird question. Best place to visit in UK because I want to take a gap year there. I would say visit the smaller, more quaint towns. London's all right to visit, but it's kind of gone downhill. It used to be a much nicer place when I was a kid. Nice accent, GNG. What part of the UK are you living in? I live in Cambridgeshire, but I grew up in London. I do know cricket kind of, but I don't watch it anymore. I used to play it. Vagina, what the fuck? Yeah, vagina. Vagina's my favorite. Is that not the question is that not the answer you were hoping for? To be honest, yeah, the first fruit that came to mind is white grapes. I do like them. P Piacoso. I don't know. I'm very proud to say that my anal zone is still virginal and will remain that way. South London is awesome for visit and wear black Nike Air Force with ski mask. You would enjoy it. Appian, do you know what's funny? I used to live in Southwest London, and you're not wrong. Do you like aviation? I want to become a pilot. Yeah. A pilot would be a really good, I mean, a pilot would be an amazing job. There's just so much you gotta go through to get there. But once you've actually get there, um, it's easy to it's kind of an easy enough job to do these days. Most of it is done electronically. All those books in the background, they're actually video games. I'm sorry to say. Sorry to disappoint you, but I do have a nice book collection downstairs. Cricket is really boring now since India took over the game from England. I mean, England is still a pretty decent team, right? What time is it there? Filipino time is 5:12 a.m. Are you 8 hours ahead now? Where in the Philippines are you, by the way? I won't buy it. Just gonna watch people do playthroughs. The story, from what I've seen, looks beautiful. Maybe watch a trailer or play through the first episode if you want to get into it. Do you know what, man? I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Sup, Frankie? How you doing, at being? Good to see you, man. Sorry, driving. I figured you were. Um, where have you tasted the best shepherd's pie? Do you know what? Yeah, I might. This is gonna sound like a little bit of a cop out. An ex-girlfriend of mine made the best shepherd's pie I've ever had. But I would say the second best was at Marco Pierre Van White's restaurant in London. It used a little bit too much red wine, but it was great. But I would say it was an ex-girlfriend, like amazing. Imagine you shifted in time zone to the North Pole, an Indian throws a ball and an epipleptic catches it. What do you do? Are you trying to fuck my brain right now? Looking like game of the year easily. Do you know what, man? If you're, do you know what I'll do? Yeah, I'll download it tonight. I'll buy it tonight and give it a go. I'll try and get through episode 1 and 2, and then I'll give you an honest review the next time I'm on. No, that's better. Gamer here as well. Let's go. Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, like I do own a lot of games, but I don't probably play as much as I should, considering how much money I waste on them. I mean, sorry, hang on a second. I mean, the India took over the politics and higher positions in the International Cricket Council. I mean, it is their sport. Sup, is Switch 2 worth it? Mostly trying to play the Zelda games and Fire Emblem. I find it worth it because even though there's not that many exclusive games on it, I like the size of the console and it feels a lot more premium than the previous Switch did. So I barely used to use my old Switch, but I'm playing the games that I would have played on the original Switch, but on Switch 2, and I prefer it. Send this dude 2-3 years to the tire shop and forget it. Starboy, let's not be silly, you know. And don't be a hater. How you doing, Clover? Welcome back. Howdy, fellas. I'm back from yesterday. I can see that, man. How you doing? If you don't mind me asking, what does your tattoo say mean? Well, my tattoos are literally, they're all like, things like childhood memories or big moments in my life that have come up. I can see you talking to me, Roman. I'm talking back. So yeah, it's all like, where I grew up, like when I've had kids and stuff, I've got like, just stuff that commemorates major moments in my life. So that's what my tattoos are kind of all about. What's your height, by the way? I'm 5'7". Not quite a short king, but sort of I'm in that region. Quite short, but not a midget. Like I don't walk down the road and people go, "Fuck me, that's a tiny cunt." You kind of look like someone who used to study a lot. I was a bit of a nerd. I'm not gonna lie. Tanis SK, sorry, help me. Help you with what? What are your thoughts on black people robbing and killing? The same opinion I have about anyone robbing and killing. Don't do it. I don't have more dislike of somebody of a particular race or ethnic background doing it. I generally think it's wrong. So yes, Ren. Y'all don't use centimeters and meters in the UK. Yeah, so I'm about 173 centimeters, 174 centimeters. Short King adjacent, I think is fair. Which do you recommend? Steam Deck, Switch 2, or PlayStation 5, and why? I would recommend the Steam Deck just because you can do a lot more with it. I've got a PS5, I barely touch it. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is good, but it's only if you're only into obviously Nintendo games. Whereas with the Steam Deck, there's so much you can do on it. It depends what you're using it for, to be honest. But out of the three, I would 100% go with the Steam Deck. Please do subscribe and hit the like button. I'd very much appreciate it. Sorry if I'm not giving you 500 rupees. Okay, I've answered that question. What's your age? I turned 41 years old yesterday, and I have 3 children. Aspinall got his ass whooped. No, he got his nose bloodied up a little bit, but I feel like he was in control of things. And I feel like he still would have gone on and won. I feel like Gon cheated on purpose. What do you do for a living? I'm a professor of literature. Aspinall was like 4 strikes down. He did have his nose bloodied a little bit, and I was concerned, but I still feel like he was on his way to winning the fight. I wasn't majorly concerned. But the fact that he's being called like a coward, and it's just all these John Jones trolls. And I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I don't even like Tom Aspinall. Certainly not as a person, but why do you have a Nazi PFP? I don't have a Nazi PFP. Are you talking to Musa? I don't know, man. Why do you have a Nazi P for P? Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliment, despite the Nazi P for P. Western Mass, yes, he did. How you doing, Windows kernel? How can you say he got his ass whooped? He got tagged with a couple of straight, he got with a couple of straight jabs that did bloody him up a little bit. But you can argue that you lost the first round. But saying that you got battered is mad. And again, it's coping on the John Jones side of the fence. I will say this though, I agree with a lot of people who think that the rematch is going to be more intriguing. Are you Russian? No, I'm Irish, sir. Danny Hooker got his orbital bone broke and his arm and still won the fight. Different situations, though. Generally, what happens in those situations, if you get compromised, you end up going to lose the fight. With all the money that was involved and everything, and the fact that why would you give somebody who's cheated an advantage? You do. I thought you were 30. I appreciate that, man. I'm significantly older than that. Good night, honey. Give me a kiss. Give me a kiss. Good night. Hug. And a hug. Yep. Good night, sweetie. Good night, sweetie. I'll see you in the morning. Tom's nose was broken. No, it was a little bit bloodied up. I don't think it was ever confirmed broken. I don't even like John Jones, bro. I mean, I like John Jones as a fighter, but I don't like him as a human. What are your thoughts on Paddy getting a title shot? I feel like one is the most undeserving in UFC history. Jacob, the thing is, what are the alternatives? It's basically him or Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje doesn't deserve one either. He's only had one fight. Well, it's not a win streak. He's only won one fight since his loss. So I don't hate it. The thing is, it's an organic beef that already exists. There's a lot of history to both of them. They stood next to each other in the cage. There's clear hatred there. I think it's great. Do you have a passport to Ireland? Yeah, my passport is Irish. Thoughts on Joseph Parker losing? I thought it was a bit of an early stoppage. I thought Parker was like 6 or 7 rounds up at that point, which happens to Wardley all the time. I felt like they stopped it a little bit soon. Bruh, 70% of MMA fans in the internet are I don't think they're real people. I genuinely don't. I think it's AI botting. I don't know, but after Tom and Ankalai's bad days, I don't have a good feeling for Islam, even though I hope he wins. I don't mind if Islam wins. I don't. Like I've said multiple times on this channel, the only reason why I don't really want to see Islam succeed or to hold a belt, let me put it that way, I don't think he's active enough. That's my issue. How you doing, Cayman Rider? Welcome back, bro. Another OG. UFC 321 blue balls moment right there. We were about to see Aspinall go to the second round after a hairy first round. This is what we needed, and then eye poke. This is the problem. I think all Aspinall fans wanted to see that. We wanted to see how he'd cope. And I'm not a Tom Aspinall fan. I'm not. I didn't really care who won the fight. I just wanted to see a good fight. But people claiming that he was getting battered is hot take. Fluffy beats Kamza. I'm with you, man. I'm a massive Fluffy Hernandez fan. I think he will. Which PlayStation game, Switch game, or Steam Deck game you enjoyed playing the most? My favorite game of all time is a game called Persona 5 Royale. But I was into all the OGs, stuff like the old Resident Evil, the old Final Fantasy games, the old Metal Gear Solid games, the old Zelda games. I'm into the old shit, man. Lol, you Tom fans are delusional. I mean, if you felt that Tom Aspinall was losing the fight, that's fair enough. But the fight being ended the way it was entirely Gon's fault. It's not on Tom. How you doing, Zara? Nice to meet you. No, they're real people with NPC minds. I mean, it's possible. Do you know any Irish language? I know a couple. I know a couple of phrases like "kiss my ass" and "open the door," stuff like that. Nothing too important. Do you know any? Oh, sorry, I just answered that. Bro, are you married? Yep, and I've got 3 children. One of my children is 21 years old. Zelda is goated. It fucking is, bro. Norfy, did you get your money yet? By the way, don't Persona 5 got titties on it? Nah, unless I missed them somehow. It's basically like a Japanese RPG kind of game. It's really good. Islam is legitimately in the conversation of GOAT status. The competition he's beat is unmatched. I kind of disagree with you on that, Sam. I think the competition is the reason why he's not. Because he's fought a lot of smaller guys. He's had a few layup wins in terms of, people he fought that weren't really contenders that he got to beat up. Dustin Poirier was one. He shouldn't have got another title shot, even though the fight was close. Moicano shouldn't have got a title. I'm not saying it's his fault, but beating Volk on short notice, he's had some lucky ones along the way. So I feel like if he beats JDM, he enters top 5. But GOAT, I think he's a couple wins away from that. Bro, do you believe Ronaldo's the GOAT? Nah, I got Messi. I hate you. Oh, that's a bit strong. You are not a Tom Aspinall fan. Dude was catching bricks in the mouth and got his nose broken, and you said he had superior. I didn't say he had superior striking. I never said that. I said he had a clear advantage in the wrestling and on the feet that they were comparable. If anything, I said that Gon was the cleaner striker, and that I was one of the very few people that was saying this was going to be a tough fight for Tom, and I expected him to get tested in the first 2 rounds and then find an opening in the third and win by ground and pound or sub. And I still think there's a chance that was going to happen. By the way, if you have just turned up here, please like the stream. I'd really appreciate it. Are you planning on going to Asia anytime in November? Probably not. I think the next time I'll probably be going will be in March, I would say, if I have the time. Tom will win the rematch. I think he will as well. I still think Tom's the better fighter, and I think Gon cheated his way out of there. He took a few heavy leg kicks. He was getting stalked the entire round. And I know Tom got bloodied a little bit, but he didn't seem hurt in any way. And I feel like he was starting to get control. He was leading the dance. I know his nose got bloodied. He was losing that round. But he looked perfectly fine to me in terms of his confidence. He was smiling away. He looked like he was still, in control. A very important thing about the game, in the settings, set new to eater blurred centered. Trust me. Okay. Wow. Look at Edwards versus Usman. Usman dominated until he got knocked out in the 5th. Yeah, I mean, to say that Gon was dominating him is crazy. Aspinall was landing some shot. He was only 3 strikes down. I think it just looked especially bad because we've never seen Tom tested before, and his nose was bloody. I mean, he looked like he'd had paint thrown in his face. So I understand why people feel that way. Gon always cheats, hits people in the back of the head and eye pokes. Yeah, the guru said a lot about that. I hadn't really noticed it. To say Islam isn't active, bruh, goats are made this way. They aren't made fighting like ragdoll every day. Every person who achieved goat status did it smartly. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm not saying has nothing to do with him being a goat. I'm just saying from my champion, I want him fighting at least 3 times a year. Just to keep the division moving. So we get fresh contenders all the time. He fights 2 times a year at best. Bro, do you think alcohol should be banned worldwide? No, I don't. I just think people should stop being cunty and learn how to do it responsibly. Man, not gonna lie, if Joe Rogan did not fuck it up, Armin would have gotten his chance after being number. What did Joe Rogan have to do with it? It's more Nina Drama that's to blame and his own simpy behavior. Even if Garn was dominating, which he wasn't, doesn't mean anything in a 5-round fight. It doesn't. I still think that was way open. Way open. Among all Asian countries, which do you recommend visiting? I would say there's so many good places to visit. I mean, I was in China for 7 years, absolutely loved it. Japan was a really nice place to visit. The Philippines is amazing. Thailand is amazing. I was recently in Vietnam 3 months ago. and it was incredible there as well. Um, those are my top 5, I would say. Yo, bro, watching from Nepal. You know, I do know Nepal. How you doing, Anil? We must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. The horse has kind of bolted, though, hasn't it, Dylan? We should have thought about that 100 years ago. Um, are you from Iceland? No, I'm from Ireland. Ireland. Prime Charles submitted 145 GOAT twice. Armin, Dustin, Moicano, Bobby Green, and Dan Hooker. If he beats JDM and Ilya, he legitimately is the undisputed GOAT. If he beats JDM and Ilya, he's the GOAT. I agree with you. If he beats both those fighters, I think he's going to have his hands full with JDM, and I don't think he even gets to fight Ilya. I think that ends up not happening. I think him moving up to 170 has killed the chances of that happening. Aspinall is overrated, very possibly. Ilya was calling out Armin, but Joe Rogan thought he was calling out Paddy because of their both bish bash. Oh yeah, maybe you're right, but I don't think it would have made any difference. Ilya's kind of been in the doghouse for a little bit, so I don't know. Could you just accept that you hate Dagestanis? I don't. I like Islam Makhachev. I like his personality. I like his fighting style. I just don't think that he fights enough. Damn, what the fuck you did 7 years in China? I was working there, man. I was working there. I loved every second of it. China was amazing. 100, more like 30 years ago. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite born yet, though. I mean, I moved to England in the 80s, and it was pretty ethnic then, sir. So Ireland will soon be in a minority. Yeah, I mean, it's already happening, kind of. Bro, Frankie, I was gonna go to the gym this morning, and out of nowhere, I started feeling terrible. Think I got the flu. I hate this. Power through, sir. Don't Tom Aspinall this. Inbreeding shouldn't be glorified. And they don't, and it's not entirely inbreeding. Only in some countries they do it. In Qatar, they definitely do. What is your opinion about Catherine Connolly winning the presidential election in Ireland as an independent party? You're not gonna like my answer on this, Anne. Um, I don't trust women in power. I'm gonna be honest. But the fact that it's not one of the major parties that have done it is probably a nice thing. I don't trust politicians in general. So I mean, I guess it's a nice story, but what it's gonna end up doing for the country is anybody's business. Got no idea. Nothing like listening to a Scouser. Yeah, they are fucking difficult to understand cunts, aren't they? No one fights more than 3 times a year. I'm saying I would like at least 2 spilling into 3, if you know what I'm saying. Because with Islam, because he hasn't fought the best in the division really, like there's a few he missed out on. And again, I know it wasn't his fault. I would have liked to have seen him stick around and fight Ilya rather than just jumping straight up. I think he should have done the Ilya fight first, then gone up. But he has got lucky in some matchups he's ended up with. Tom Aspinall tactically quit. I mean, you can make that argument. I think he genuinely was injured and did the right thing. Because if he'd gone on to lose, which he probably would have done after having his eyeball ripped out, we all saw it. He wouldn't have got a rematch. Bro, who's your favorite current champion? It's probably Marab, you know. It's probably Marab. I love Ilya as well. But there's just something so amazing about what Marab's doing. He's such a lovely bloke and he's so active. I gotta give props to Marab. And he's fighting the very best in the division. You know, he's gone through everyone, maximum respect. 80% of Dagestani marriages are between relatives. I mean, probably. It's a cultural thing. Sorry, my son keeps screaming. Bro, if you visit Pakistan, you don't need to pay for food. How does that work out? They should have stripped him and sent him to the PFL so they could finally make Alex Pereira versus John Jones at the White House for the vacant title. Yeah, either way, it wasn't Tom's fault. You believe Conor is a rapist? No, not really. I do think he's a cunt, though. No, Devesh Rai, I'm not AI, but thanks for the compliment. Who should they stripped who and sent them to the PFL? Do you mean Tom Aspinall? What were you doing for 7 years in China? Well, my wife was Chinese. I'm not going to get into the complicated nature of that. She's Chinese, and yeah, I lived there for 7 years. I worked. It was good. I loved living there. The only reason I left is because, like, once COVID really got into full swing, it it got very difficult to live there. So Dylan, you would get rid of a few million that came under Boris. I do think immigration is out of control in this country to some extent, and certainly when a lot of taxpayer money is going towards paying for people that weren't here to begin with. If you're coming in to contribute to the country, I'm all for it. But if you're coming in and just sucking up resources, and people should feel the same way about any country. I fucking pay a shitload of taxes. And I would rather that it go to people within this country who actually need it. Because there are plenty of needy people who grew up in this country who need it. Do you think Yuri versus Ank should happen before the Ank and Alex rematch? The Ank and Alex rematch ain't happening. And I think they're going to end up doing Yuri versus Ulberg. I think Alex Pereira will either give up the belt or they'll do an interim between Ulberg and Yuri. I think that's what's going to happen. Unfortunately, I don't really trust Reform, Advance, or any of the current parties to actually fulfill that. Dylan, the horse is out of the barn. It's gone. Bro, don't visit Pakistan because their air quality and people are really suck. Wow, bro. I've got a lot of Pakistani friends and they're cool people and they speak very highly of the country, of course. Yeah, I'm with Atbi and they can't get it. Are you an anti-Semite? Nah, I'm not an anti-Semite. I do have opinions on Jews that you might not like, but I'm not an anti-Semite. I've got nothing against them in general. But if you give me any group of people, I'll give you a reason why I don't agree with everything they're about to a certain extent. I'm basically prejudiced towards every single race, including my own. Yuri deserves it more than anyone, 100%, and I hope he gets it. Bro, I think chips is better than the North Korean government. That's quite I mean, everything is better than the North Korean government. That goes without saying, mate. That absolutely goes without saying. Where in Ireland are you from? I'm from Tipperary. Are you being real with me, Anne? I was born in Cork, and my whole family's from Cork. And I used to go there a couple times a year. Lived there not that long ago as well. I was there for about 6 months. I love it. Can you river dance? That's so racist. Yes. That depends on your definition of anti-Semite. Exactly. Mertzakana versus Ankalaev next. That would be amazing. I would love to see that fight. I think they do that, and then they do Yuri versus Ulberg for an interim belt or the actual belt. Has anyone asked what that homeless guy spent the $500 on? I don't think he's received it yet. I think he's waiting for it to be processed. He's here. You can ask him. You were born in what? No, don't. I know what you're thinking. CORK, not COCK. How's it going? How you doing, pork chop? We've got 2 pork chops in the chat, but I know who the original pork chop is. Okay. Name something that you don't like about the black. I don't like how generally black people never stop shutting up here about how much they don't have and how basically they get to be as racist as they want and it's not a thing. My black friends are racist with me around and they forget that I'm there because we've been friends for so many years. They say the most diabolical shit about white people like I'm not there. Now, not all black people are like this, but generally, yeah. A lot of black people think that being racist towards white people doesn't exist. You can't be racist towards a white person, which is bullshit. Raise, I can see your comments. You're right, mate. Cork people accents are like singing. They are. I was with my mum this afternoon. I took her to a movie, and it's always a pleasure being around her because she's got the most lovely, sweet-sounding voice. Iceland barely has any non-Icelandics. I should visit there. Well, Sam, you've made your views on life very, very clear. I can see your comments, Raise. That's everywhere. They are victims for a living. I think it's the victim complex amongst a lot of the black community, which is why I would never get with a black woman because then they've got the victim complex of being black and also the victim complex of being a woman. Now, I'm not saying this is always the truth, and pretty much all my friends are black or Asian. But it's something that I've just noticed among the community. And again, it's not all of them, but and also the fact that like all of us white people are like, you know, somehow evil bigots that have like fucking secret meetings to, nah, man, poor white people are poor too, man. They hate us as well. Sorry, that was quite the rant. I feel like I was getting that off my chest, but I appreciate that, Shaggy Doo. Yo, I talked to MMA Now 27, and he said he would be up for a collab with you for UFC 322 Islam fight. You should reach him out. I think it would be very fun. I would happily do a collab with him. Moody, what's good, bro? How are you? Moody's another guy with a YouTube channel. You should check the guy out. Yeah, it's true. People don't believe in racism towards whites. There are genuinely people out there who think that it's impossible to be racist towards white people. And there are white people that get racially abused and think it's okay. We need to take it. Do you know what I mean? What's the biggest difference between the Irish and Northern Irish, if any? It's a hard one to say, you know. I think we're culturally quite different. Damn, I just had a 6.1 earth. Is that earthquake? Are you okay? The silent majority of, I don't think this is a race and a color thing, to be honest. And I've got equally funny comments or just generalized comments about every race. Like, it's not all of them, but in fact, always them. I mean, there are plenty of black people I know that are more enlightened than that, but I've got a riddle for you, Professor. They're loud and obnoxious. They like music that rhymes. They're a fraction of the population, but commit half the Jesus, Chama, Jesus. The fact that I thought that. You cooked our Jenny. Haunter, I'm going to be honest, man. I don't even remember. It was such a long rant. And our Jenny is a friend of mine. So I actually feel bad about it if that's what went down. I was a little bit tipsy. What holidays do you celebrate in the UK? Pretty much everything, you know. We celebrate Diwali, we celebrate Eid, we celebrate. It's a very multicultural. It's a poor versus rich versus it's not black versus white. That's very, very fair. And I think a lot of black people don't understand that. They think that all white people are rich. Or some of them do. Ain't true, man. Ain't true. That should be the argument. It should be the rich versus the poor argument. And I think that's what we're developing to as a society anyway. I think the racist thing is becoming less. But I think you can be a patriot or not have a preference for other colors or other races and not necessarily be racist. As long as you're not committing hatred, I don't really have a problem with it. Yeah, I'm okay. My dog didn't wake up. What type of fucking dog is that? Based dog, mate. I need some head, Brit boy. Why are you coming here for that? Get the fuck out of here. Frankie, my views are not vile or extreme. We have been brainwashed into acceptance and tolerance. All of the European ancestors would agree with that. I'm not saying you are being intolerant or vile. I don't think you are. I grew up around black and Asian people. Most of my friends are of that, well, type. And I don't really believe it matters. Sam is just being openly racist. Sam's been around it for a while. He just believes in sticking with his own, and I don't really have an issue with that. It's not personally what I champion, but I like having friends from other cultures because I feel like there's a lot that we can learn from each other. I'm talking to you, Nathan, believe it or not. How many donuts if one donut is equal to 1 inch? Oh, mate. Why don't you take a wild guess? Are you a martial artist? No, I'm a professor of literature. How are you doing, Blinkstay? Welcome back. I've seen you before. I recognize the PFP, and my channel is not anywhere near big enough that I forget anyone that comes in here. And I hope it always remains that way. You should talk to him when he is live about 8 hours from now. I don't know if I'll still be awake, but I can pop into his chat and like what? Learn what from each other. I'll tell you something now, Nathan. Yeah, I lived in China for 7 years. Yeah, those people are brilliant. They have ways of being more efficient. They have ways of keeping crime down. Same things as when I lived in places like Qatar, crime-free. There are so many things we can learn from each other culturally. Where are you from? I'm from Ireland, but grew up in the UK. You've got 3 donuts energy. If that's your opinion, that's fine. I don't care how big you think my dick is. It means nothing. JDM is the underdog. He probably would be. What's your Premier League team? Newcastle United, sir. And I'm now proud to say that. If you'd asked me that before, I would have pretended not to see the question and just moved on. 7.5 donuts. How do you know? Westy. Islam is a religion of hate. I think all religions are religions of hate, aren't they? Underneath it all. It's all about we're better than everyone else, pretty much. That's what most religions are about, from my experience. Cheers from Switzerland. How you doing, Richard Attenborough? Rest in peace to Richard Attenborough, by the way, and David Attenborough. I heard David Attenborough died recently, which is really sad. What a goat. Nah, people are really underestimating JDM in this fight. I understand why he's the underdog, but I think he's gonna win. Garcia or Onama? Garcia all day long. Garcia is really good, and Onama is very overrated. Didn't Onama lose to fucking Nate Landwehr? Less than 15% of the population has above 7 inches. I've never really looked into the numbers. It's not really it's not really the kind of research that I've done. Have you been to Norway? I was there for no, I wasn't in Norway. I was in Sweden. Sorry. Never been to Norway. But I think JDM will do way better than everyone thinks. I think he's going to win 3 rounds to 2. I'm not no, I'm not an atheist, Tazy. I'm an agnostic. David Attenborough isn't dead. Someone told me he was last, and I didn't even have the fucking date. Let me check. Because to be fair, yeah, it makes sense that he's not, because I'm assuming I would have heard more. I literally heard somebody say it in my chat, and then I just took it as, yep, he's 99 years old as well. What a legend. I'm so glad he's still alive. Maybe somebody saw that Richard's. What the fuck is inches? UK don't use centimeters. We say inches, yeah, because it sounds more impressive, especially when we're talking about our dongs. Where do you measure it? Side, top, or I've never measured my dick. I don't know why anyone would do that. He was unwell and he's 99. I hope he makes it to 100. What a fucking legend. I fucking did not. Bilal fight was a great warm-up for the Islam style. I completely agree with that. JDM's got great takedown defense. Yeah, David Attenborough is an absolute legend. I used to think the guy was incredible. When I was a kid, I remember I got into like a really good secondary school by glazing and pretending that I wanted. They asked me like, who would you want to be for a day? And I said David Attenborough because I knew it would be the poshest answer I could give. Fucking tricked them. My mama is kind of homeless. Let her live with you then, bro. The fuck's wrong with you? Bro, do you think Cyril versus Garn rematch? I still think Tom's the better fighter. I still think Tom's going to beat him. You have to measure from the base of the shaft, Frankie. Well, I assume if that's how you're going to do it, that's how you would do it. But the base would probably give you the best chance of getting a good result, right? Obviously, you want to go down as low as you can. Girth or length? Thoughts on the Aspinall fight, Kieran? I feel like Aspinall landed the better shots, but I feel like obviously Garn did the most damage. I know that doesn't sound like it makes sense because obviously he blooded him up. But I thought he was starting to take control. He had control of the cage. He was backing Garn up. Garn was slowing down a little bit. And I think he eye poked him because he took a few big shots and he thought, you know what? I'm going to get banged out in a minute. So he tried to rip his eyeball out, and it's a dirty French coward and cheater. I hope that answers your question. Thought 4 inches is average. No, it's not. It depends where you are. I've heard that 5 is average. 5. I've got 5 years to bake 6 million cookies, and I've only got 5 ovens to do it. If I have a constant supply chain of cookies going in and out of the oven, how much time can I do it in? Dylan, I'm not a mathematician. What is 18? Did you just measure your dick right now? Frankie is a grower, not a shower. I mean, that's a great expression, by the way. I've always loved that. I don't know why all of you are so fascinated with my dick. It says a lot more about you guys than it does about me. ChatGPT says 5.5 inches is the average. Yeah, like ChatGPT knows. We've got to stop putting all of our faith in AI. I looked it up and I'm about the 90 plus percentile. I'm a little bigger than 6, I think. I measure on the side. If you measure at the bottom your stat padding, fuck me, this has gotten. I mean, I'm saying this is weird, but like, let's be honest, this is on brand for me. By my maths, you'd only be able to do 271k maximum. Asians got a bad rap for having small PPs, yet they have the same average as whites and blacks. But Asia's such a big saying Asia's such a big thing though, because it's like Indians are very genetically different from Chinese, who are very genetically different from Japanese. It's like, do you know what I mean? You clearly attract gays. Yeah. How you doing? The less I say about that, the better. How you doing, Frankie? Do you prefer the drunk therapy session with Gio or comparing dicks to other guys? I've got to say, I'm feeling ashamed of both at this moment in time. I still haven't gone back to look at that, and nor will I ever. I'm honestly ashamed of that moment. I'm not even gonna lie. Mostly because I'm not really upset of myself for arguing with Argenti, because in a lot of ways, and I'm saying this as a friend of his, yeah. In a lot of ways, he deserves it, yeah, because he does gaslight and he does talk a lot of shit. But usually when I get pissed off of him, I talk to him in private. And because I was a little bit tipsy, I completely forgot about the chat and just, I don't know, just said how I was feeling. I'll put it that way. I have a 4-inch reach advantage. Have you ever read the Inheritance Cycle book series? I have not. Yeah, go Furious. It is what it is. Bro, in your opinion, old fighter better now or current? I mean, it's obviously fighters have more access to good nutrition. They've learned new techniques. They've adapted things that work. There's been more trial and error. So I would say that new fighters, if you plump them in with old fighters as they are now, would win. But in terms of natural talent, I think it's hard to say. Very hard to say. Hey, what part of Asia? Again, I think all parts of Asia are Indians are Asians though. This turned into a literal dick measuring contest. It did. Not a very straight one. Not that you can have a straight one. Yeah, let's move on from talking about dicks. You kind of abused Argenti. I can't remember exactly what I said, but here's the thing about me. I'm not a bully. So if I went a little bit too hard on him, he was probably saying stuff that warranted that kind of reaction. Because I generally am not somebody who, like, goes too hard on people. But Haunter, you should tell your boy Clown Show, yeah, if he thought that was bad, yeah, count himself lucky that he didn't try to fuck with me. Because anything I did to Argenti, which was just light work, really, imagine what I would have done to him, somebody that I actually think is a cunt. So maybe you should tell your boy, yeah, that he needs to stop saying my fucking name. Because eventually I will pull up here and he'll regret it. We're not on the same level. Frankie, I work as a security man in a 5-star hotel, and the English cunts give me the most problems. English people can be generally very, very difficult to deal with. Thing is, of English is we're very false. There is a veneer of politeness that doesn't really exist. Man, can we move on? Like, yeah, we're talking about how fucking shitty English people are. What are you thinking about Pakistan Air Force? I mean, if that's your passion, bro, go for it. Pakistanis are very, very proud about defending their own nation. So if that's what you feel to do, then do it. Like, we've got some real meat inspectors in this chat. Yeah, we've had some, we've had some rough times with some trolls coming in and out, but we're generally getting better. When I hear Asian, I immediately imagine Chinese, Japanese, or Korean. So how would you quantify Indian people then? They are in the continent of Asia. People are more salty than Argentine himself. Just let it go, guys. Everyone is cool. Yeah, I completely agree. Well, mostly. Frankie, you should get channel emotes. I don't think actually I can get them without monetizing, which I don't want to do. I'm never going to monetize. Your ancestors may be from Europe. If we go back enough, then everyone is African. That is that is just an incoherent worldview. I agree with you. We were all from one body of land, but this is just what human nature is, man. We have to have enemies. You are from the continent you are born in. I mean, that's fair enough. It's like me saying I'm not English when I grew up here. Like my sensibilities are all English. My way of seeing things. Why would you not monetize Lil Frank? Well, some of us don't think that taking money from people is a good thing. You know, people who just want to come in and be part of a community. It's not what I got into YouTube for at all. Believe it or not, I got into YouTube for this. Like, not necessarily the dick measuring, but you know, to have a community and people who enjoy talking about MMA and various other things. How you doing, Parlay Princess? What's good, man? Parlay Princess is another person who has a really good MMA channel, from what I've heard. I've never visited though. I am subscribed to you, but I've never popped in there. So shout out to you for turning up. The only reason I became aware of you is your beef with Argenti, which I understand we've had in common recently. Because then he has to follow the YouTube guidelines. I mean, I think I could get. I'm amazed I haven't been kicked off the platform for some of the shit that I've said. To be honest, there's a spider in your glass door behind you. It's a UK spider though. They're all pussies, bro. What do you think a little witch two fighter's gonna? Bro, what do you think? Which fighter gonna stop Ilya and Hamzat? Hamzat will lose if he tries to go up to light heavyweight, but at middleweight, I think the only two that have a chance would be Imavov and Fluffy, and that's if they can drag him into deep water, which might be hard. But at middleweight, probably nobody, and at lightweight, nobody's beating Ilya. That's not parlay. All right, fine. How are you, bro? I'm good, man. How are you? Any sports you're interested in apart from MMA? Yeah, I'm into football, or soccer as these American fuck nuggets call it. Um, I used to be into everything. I used to be into cricket. I used to be into American football. I watch basketball. I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. I'm a typical dude. I used to watch a bit of rugby. I'm into everything, man. I'm into everything. But I would say that football and MMA are the two things that I watch the most. Because obviously, being a father and having like a job that takes up 60 hours a week of my life, um, there's only so much time in the world. How will you reach out to MMA now? I can shout him in what, because I am subscribed to him. I'll shout him out in one of his videos, and I'll let you know that you have spoken to him, and then I'll see what he's up to. Because yeah, I'd definitely be down. Bro, can you believe that the average? Oh fuck this. Is Tom an embarrassment to the UK? Nah, man, he's not. I've never really liked Tom Aspinall. I think he's a decent fighter, but I find him a bit cringy, and I think he's a bit of a wet wipe. I'll be perfectly honest. But I'm not that bothered, but I don't think it takes away from the fact that Garn cheated. And I'm amazed that that's even an argument. The fact that there are so many people online saying otherwise just shows how much people are trolls. It was a disappointing end to a fight that we needed a conclusion for, and now we've got to fucking see it again and not move on. But I still think Tom Aspinall was the better fighter, and he was looking like he was pushing Garn back, and I know he was a bit bloodied up. He landed some nice leg kicks. He was starting to get position well. I feel like Tom was still in a good position to win that fight. Leave Logan Paul alone. Speaking of cunts, brutal. Nah, Tom, bro. We saw what happened to the eye, though. It doesn't matter if it looks fine. He dug his entire finger in up to the knuckle, all the way into his eye. If you think Tom Aspinall's a bitch, I don't know what else to tell you. And if that's what you think, that's what you think, innit? I mean, my view isn't going to change your opinion. His eye didn't look that bad, but only he knows what he really felt. And what it looked like to me is that he eye poked him and then dug in with both eyes. If you've ever been dugged in the eye, it's not fun. When you've got millions on the line, potential revenue moving forward, bro, he made the right call. If he was compromised, he did the right thing to continue. Somebody shouldn't be rewarded for being the one who cheated, and Garn cheated. Frankie, what do you think about the COVID vaccine? I think there's probably secret implications behind it. How much do you earn annually? I earn about. It depends how much money you're talking in. I earn about £100,000 a year in my job, and that's before tax. So I take home about between 75 and 80k a year, something like that. Don't fight if you're not 100%, especially in we've seen it, yeah, multiple times. If you get compromised in a fight when someone's cheating and you still keep fighting, most in 95% of those situations, you go on to lose. And if Tom had gone on to lose that fight, he wouldn't have got a rematch. Why did you change your channel name? My channel name is still Fight Like Frankie, but it might be showing as at, like the at name is at Bad MMA Math, because that was my original. You had a child at 20. I had a child at 19. I had my first daughter at 19. Tom is frail, always getting injured. Is that a UK thing? No. I mean, sometimes it can be. Can I get a G Willikers and Shama from you? G Willikers. What's that from? What's your take on John Jones? I think he's a cunt. I think he's a highly intelligent fighter, but I think he's an actual scumbag. He's one of the most high IQ fighters of all time. His skill set's undeniable, but he picks his fights very cleverly, which is why he's managed to be as successful as long as he has done. But he's a cheater and a scumbag. What jersey are you wearing? It's just a Ralph Lauren polo. It's not a jersey. I think it's the Paris version. How old are you right now? I turned 41 yesterday. Tom Arse and all that just lost the ticket to the White House card. I don't think he was ever going to be on it, to be fair. Who was he going to fight on the White House card? Haunter, bro, folds everyone in a round or two. Besides, he had just gotten injured. Yeah, and I mean, John Jones did give him the runaround for ages. He came back after his knee injury quite quickly and bounced back from it really well. John Jones is just a talented demon. That's a great summation. By the way, Brian, where are you from? Tom pulling the fight isn't the issue. His exaggeration and attitude was vile. Tom's was. Who would win in a fight between John Jones and Alex Pereira in light heavyweight? Probably John Jones. Certainly a prime John Jones. I don't know about this one. I'll be honest with you. John Jones and Alex Pereira right now is an interesting fight. What do you call people from Spain? Spanish? You are 10 years older than you look. I really appreciate that, man. Especially the older I get, yeah, it becomes more. Well, Spaniard would be for the men, wouldn't it? I think. I might be wrong about that. That's why he retired after 1 year thinking about Tom. I mean, there's the fact that John Jones sees this as a victory says it all about his personality. But I'm not taken away from the fact that John Jones is a very talented fighter. Kenya, beautiful country, man. And I say that because I know a lot of people who are from there, and it's a place that's very, very high on the list. How you doing, DM Tabor? What's good, man? What is good? Jones is a psychopath who is the best MMA fighter of all time, the same as Charles Manson was. Very interesting comparison there, man. Very interesting comparison indeed. Man, you look around 20. I feel about 80, bro. He's not my boy, but Jones is your dad. I think get off his dick, bro. John Jones is a horrible scumbag. He is. He's a fucking scummy cunt. There's no denying it. John Jones is a weirdo. But the thing is, yeah, I think evil is kind of the best base for being successful. It's hard to deny that. By the way, if you have not subscribed to Brutally Honest MMA, if you could subscribe to my boy over there, great channel. And well worth a watch. So subscribe to Brutally Honest MMA. Brutally, have you been giving the old verticals verticals a go recently? Jones was juiced up his whole career. I'd say it's highly likely. And I think the UFC have been implicit in that, which is the problem. There is something very sketchy going on with the UFC and John Jones, in particular Dana White and John Jones. Cheating French frog eater. Fair enough. Yeah, I agree. He does cheat a lot. He seems like a changed man recently. Who, Jones? Jones goes through a transformation like every 6 months. He is who he is. He's scum. Jones smoked Gone with ease, clearly rigged. And even if it wasn't, Gone has clearly had time to work on some of his deficiencies. You haven't been live much. I hope you get time to do it more, man. Thank you for linking to the channel in the description, Westy. So check out Western Mass Climber there. He's hooked up Brutally Honest's channel. Give the guy a sub. Really good content creator. I think Jones's whole career has a dark cloud out of it, which is why he'll never be my GOAT. I don't think that's a casual take. Even if it wasn't rigged, yeah. Garn clearly had deficiencies in his game that have since been tightened up. Is scrambled egg with ketchup disgusting? I don't like ketchup at all. I don't like condiments of any nature. Haunter, I am one of those people that thinks that John Jones and Tom Aspinall would have been close. I would have had it as a 50-50, just because of the fact that Aspinall is much younger and much bigger. And he has the explosivity problem. I was never on the side of, oh, like John Jones would flatten Tom Aspinall, or vice versa, or that Aspinall would walk through John Jones. I've never felt that way. John Jones is one of the greatest fighters of all time. He's just also a cunt. Garn got taken down by Francis, so it's not really weird that Jones, with that type of grappling, subbed him like that. I mean, Jones is great. He really is. Man, who would you like to see on the White House card? All divisions included. I think if they're going to do something like that, it needs to be either all title fights or fights with it should be like, all fights that have implications. I want to see fights on paper that are all guaranteed bangers. Kind of like they did with UFC 300, where they just stacked the card with pretty much matchups that are guaranteed to be just fucking wars. That's what I'd like to see. I'm not too much worried about names. But obviously, with it being where it is, I think we're guaranteed if it does happen, which I'm not sure it will, because it's not like Donald Trump doesn't lie out of his ass on a constant basis. What fighters would you like to see change divisions? Marab. I'd like to see Marab go up and fight Volk, because I'm just interested to see. I think they're both in the same sort of. I don't know. I'd like to see them both square off. There might be a few light heavyweights I wouldn't mind seeing going up to heavyweight. I think Rakic should give it a try before he gets kicked out of the division forever. Lost my respect. Hamzat switched country about 7 times though. The only issue that I've got no problem with Haunter really, but he's clearly a clown show glazer. That's the only issue I've got with him. Northy, you're crushing the game tonight, and I appreciate the fuck for you out of it, 100%, man. How I thought you were going to come back on Tuesday. Yeah, Ismail. So the plan was to come back on Tuesday, but I'm taking my son to a chocolate factory tomorrow. So there's a chance that I might get back in really late, if not at all. I might end up staying away from home. So I thought, I'll take the opportunity to jump on, talk to the boys, just in case I can't come on tomorrow. How you doing, William? What's good, man? Where are you from and what's your story, sir? Volk is kind of finished now. He's not, bro. Look what he just did to Diego Lopez. And Diego Lopez is a savage. He made Diego Lopez look decent and not amazing. I think the Volk is able to stop Marab's takedowns and would pick him apart. That could very well happen, but I want to see it. Holy cow, how many games do you have? About 2,000 in total. He needed asylum from Kadyrov. Oh, wait, he went to Chechnya with the belt. Yeah, bit sus if you ask me. Could you do a nice shout out to my awesome grandparents' 30th anniversary? Oh, for fuck's sake. That is a disgusting thing to say, sir. That is a disgusting thing to say. Oh shit, you hit in the Wonka factory. No, it's the it's not the Cadbury factory. What is it? It's some fucking chocolate. But he's been bang on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for the last couple of weeks. So he wants to go and see a chocolate factory. So I said we do it. Fuck it, innit? I'm from Houston, Texas, but living in Colorado. Shout out to you, sir. Another based American in the chat. Not gonna lie, in Marab and Volk, Marab might be the underdog, but it ain't happening soon, and we know the outcome. If Marab gets through Piotr Jan, he should go up. Umar did not prove in that. I know he beat Bautista, but he doesn't deserve a title fight after that. Have you seen One Piece? I've got a One Piece tattoo. I'm a big One Piece fan. No, it's not lint. It's fucking hell. Hang on a second. Maybe it is Cadbury. It could be Cadbury's. It's Cadbury World, yeah, Cadbury World. Cadbury World. But Lindt would have probably been better because that chocolate's awesome. But I think the Cadbury World one actually has like, you know, historical stuff. It's a bit more interactive for kids. So my story is short. Fair enough. Short but sweet, innit? Yan is fighting Marab. So do Sean versus. I would love to see Sean versus Uman. I think that's exactly what they should do next. I would have said before Corey Sandhagen got a title shot, I would have said do him and Sean. But not Sheldon, mate. Allow it, man. That's another show that I've always thought Big Bang Theory was the worst and Sheldon is the most insufferable cunt out there. Football or MMA, you can only choose one. I choose MMA. There's nothing more based than watching people beat the fuck out of each other. They just let you inside factories days, or you got no, it's like a factory tour, man. It's not like it's Cadbury World. Do you think I should do intensive cardio 3 times a week? Depends what kind of cardio you're talking about. Marab can drop to 125 easily. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see him compromised. If they're gonna do the Pantoja fight, I'd rather Pantoja came up. But I think Pantoja gets destroyed by Marab. But whereas with Marab and Volk, you can make a case on both sides. What's your MMA Mount Rushmore by career and prime? Mine is John Jones is third. I've got GSP second. I've got Mighty Mouse first, and I've got Anderson Silva fourth. And then fifth, I would say right now it's Volkanovski with Ilya just sitting outside. And then you've got people like I said, Ilya, Makachev, and a few others kind of sitting outside, I would say. Sorry, just finished my dinner. No worries, bro. Bisping is my favorite MMA character. Is he loved in the UK? He is loved in the UK. He is. I mean, he was our first legit UFC champion, so he's always going to get love. And even when he rambles off on lives on commentary and embarrasses us, he's like a guilty pleasure of mine. The fact you told us your salary shows you're an honest lad. Yeah, to be honest, Musa, it's kind of how I am. A lot of people like in my life think that I'm a bit naive for that, but I'd rather say the good and the bad altogether. Hello, Surf. I'm from India. Did you like a rap song? I mean, I don't like all rap, but I grew up being a fan of hip hop for sure, man. What about by Prime? It's a tough. If I'm going by Prime and you take all variables out of it, I'd have John Jones first. I'd have Mighty Mouse second. I'd have GSP third. I'd have Anderson fourth. It would still be about the same. Although they're all interchangeable, really. It depends on what you consider variables for the GOAT. You got to think of how they win, longevity, how long they were at the top, how they would apply in different eras in MMA. When I really think about it, I probably think DJ is the greatest fighter of all time. Jamaica is going underwater, Frankie. Like right now. Shithole anyway. Jamaicans piss me off, man. What did you think about Masvidal's flying knee? I actually had a bet on that night. I thought Aspinall was going to win. Not Aspinall, sorry. Askren was going to win. Masvidal's another guy who I think is just a twonk. I do. I think he's basically a fug and an idiot, but he was funny for a little while. Bisping is funny as fuck. Have you seen the videos of people trolling him? I have, yeah. He's not the brightest penny in the fountain, but I do have a soft spot for Bisping. I can't help myself. I do enjoy him. I was doing my research on my mom's mom and her father's side of the family. They are both from Ireland, so they were Highlanders. So where are you from now, William Warren? Right now. Jamaica's not a great place to go to. Like I've been to the Caribbean. I visited Jamaica. They are scum, mate. You go there, you're getting robbed. 100%. They are vile out there. Have you been to India? I haven't, but it's getting higher and higher up the list. The more subscribers I have coming in, I feel like I've got to go to India and do like a travel vlog. Because I'm going to do a travel vlog the next time I go to Asia, which I have done on occasion, but it's mostly me just going in bars and just, you know, having a good time. I'm from Australia. Shout out to you, Euro. Australia is another great country. Some of my favorite people I ever worked with are from Australia. How you doing, Monarch? What's good, man? Glad to see you here. So you're from Houston, Texas, but you live in William Warren. Is that you in your P for P, by the way? Because I don't mean to make presumptions, but according to my analytics here, a much larger percentage than I thought of are 50 years and older that watch this channel, which is very surprising to me. Interchangeably, the best three boxers of all time. Oh wow, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm gonna have to look at a few to. I don't have Muhammad Ali. I don't have Joe Louis. Nope, not Henry Armstrong. Me personally, my three. Oh, I'd have Roberto Duran. I really liked Duran. Sugar Ray Leonard might be up there as well. I actually think what Manny Pacquiao achieved is really noteworthy as well. I'd probably have him in my top 5. I think he was a champion in 8 different weight classes. Joe Louis was amazing. Sugar Ray Robertson was amazing. I don't have Muhammad Ali in my top 5. I think the amount of dick sucking that goes on in Muhammad Ali is outrageous. But hello, ladies. Norkendo, that is a very confident thing to say. I don't think there's many women in here. Joe Calzaghe is on the list of best fight. Joe Calzaghe is very underrated. I think a lot of people hated him because they saw him, well, not hated him, but discredited him because he was a bit of a slap fighter. Roy Jones Jr. is in there as well. Clarissa Shields. Clarissa Shields is another insufferable twat. Karate or jiu-jitsu in I think jiu-jitsu. Karate is a little bit too. I don't think karate is as useful in real life. It's far more useful than taekwondo is. Do you know what? Yeah, but if I had the choice, yeah, I'd probably rather go with karate because I think I always think about what's more useful if you got into a fight in the street. And quite honestly, with karate, you could kick the shit out of people, but if you try to strangle someone and they've got a mate with them, you're getting stamped. Prince Nazim was amazing as well, but the way he lost to Barrera so convincingly, I mean, he got destroyed by Barrera. I would have Prince Nazim Hamid as one of the most entertaining fighters to watch of all time because he was just really amazing to watch. But the way he got absolutely dismantled by Barrera, you can't have him on the top of any list, unfortunately. But the power he had in the weight class that he was in, and the style that he put out there, amazing. I used to think Tyson Fury was really good. Very overrated cunt, in my opinion. He just lived in a heavyweight era that was shit. And now he's been exposed. Lennox Lewis is very underrated as well. But again, Lennox Lewis has had some questionable losses in his career. Like losing to Hazim Rahman was bad. Oh, Pernell Whitaker was amazing as well. Pernell Whitaker was amazing. Are you a Jehovah's Witness? Nah. Why not Muhammad Ali? Give a proper answer. It's kind of hard. Here's the thing. Muhammad Ali was great, but I think because of the personality that he had, I think he was glazed over a little bit too much as a boxer. He had really good head movement, but I feel like if you look at his fight with Joe Frazier, for example, Joe Frazier beat the absolute fuck out of him. And Joe Frazier is tough as fuck, but he's not the most technical out there. He just out-toughed him. And I think Ali had some moments like that in his career. He came back from a long layoff, obviously, and managed to get the belt back. What he did to Foreman was unbelievable. But it's a styles make fights kind of thing. And I think Ali gets overly glazed because of his political viewpoints and the fact he was such a personality. But I think as a pure pound for pound skilled boxer, 100% he's in the top 10 unequivocally. But I think the fact that so many people have him number 1 bothers me because I don't think he is. What holidays do you celebrate in the UK? All of them, bro. Any advantage we can take, we do it. I'm a moderator on other channels. Sorry, I thought I'd share my opinion. What What channels are you mod on? If you don't mind me asking. Max Verstappen. We're just randomly shouting out Formula One drivers, yeah? I'm glad that Max Verstappen is not going to win the Formula One title this year. I was getting sick of that cunt winning every fucking year. Bro, Lennox Lewis only lost twice and he avenged both losses. True, he is very up, but the fact that he had those losses, they were very sloppy losses as well. Very sloppy losses. Actually, I have a crush on my aunt and want to spend the night with her. How do I approach her? Even she likes me. Fucking hell, bro. I'd like to think you're glazing, but given the world that we live in, I'm not even sure. Sugar Ray Robinson is easily the pound for pound GOAT. I don't think that's a bad argument. There's a strong case you can make for him. Again, yeah, when it comes to GOAT, it really depends on what you see and what you appreciate. That's why it's always like a never-ending debate, because it really depends on what you enjoy. Like a lot of Calzaghe fans would have him up there because I've heard of Rico Verhoeven. He's the kickboxer, yeah. You're a moderator on a drone, YouTube streamers channel, and oh, nice one, bro. Are you British? No, I'm Irish, but I grew up in Britain. Hence the voice. Is Tone K Lane? No, he's not. Would you agree that Mike Tyson was the most entertaining boxer of all time? Again, if you're into like brutal knockouts, he's one of the greatest knockout artists that ever lived. However, again, it really depends on what your style is. Like, I personally loved people like Sugar Ray. I enjoyed Calzaghe's style. I even enjoyed Floyd Mayweather to a certain extent. Like, seeing that level of defense is hard to see. You don't see that very often in terms of that level of skill. So it depends really what you value, and everyone's entitled to their opinion. Frankie, it was a pleasure as always. My night shift has officially started. Bro, as always, thank you so much for turning up. I really appreciate it. You have a Tom Holland vibe. Kind of even look like him too, bro. Euro, to be honest, man. I get compared to everyone these days. I'm told I look like Lex Freeman, that I look like Elon Musk's retarded son. Was another one that I got. But that's a much nicer version, because Tom Holland, he's all right. There are a lot worse. I've heard I look like a Twilight character. It really depends on who's. Apparently, I just look like a generic white person. For career, I have Mighty Mouse, GSP, Islam, Amanda Nunes. For prime, I have Cain Velasquez, BJ Penn, Conor McGregor, Stipe. It's an interesting list. Prime Floyd Mayweather versus prime Conor McGregor. Who's getting battered in a real fight? Floyd Mayweather. But Floyd was very impressive. You have to agree that Floyd was the highest IQ boxer out there. Well, he has to be high IQ in boxing, because in real life, he's an absolute mongoloid. But Floyd was great at what he did. Genuinely was amazing. And to be as actual thick as he is in real life or in everyday life, he's a boxing savant. And he did have a very smooth career. He really did. It was a pretty flawless career when you look back at it. He did have a couple of close fights. Like, what was that guy who had that really drunken style, who was really difficult to deal with? Floyd has had one or two tricky fights in his career. Usyk was one I wanted to mention as well, but I think Usyk is the greatest heavyweight of all time. And the only reason why he won't go down that way is, first of all, because he's Ukrainian, and because heavyweight boxing right now, the era that he's in, isn't good enough to justify that. But I think in terms of his IQ and his style and his chin, Usyk is phenomenal. His cardio. I think Usyk would have been able to operate and win in Triple G's amazing as well. Got robbed in 2 Canelo fights, especially the first one that was a draw. He clearly won. Oh my God, that was a horrendous list. How you doing, Ernie Johnson? Ernie Johnson turning up to have another argument, yeah? Ernie Johnson gets in a bad mood. He's like, "Do you know what? Fuck this. I'm going to jump on Fight Night Frankie's and find some mug to argue with." How you doing, Ernie? Good to have you back, bro. Yeah, he's the GOAT in heavyweight for sure. I think that's reasonable. I think he beats anyone in any era. But a lot of people are going to be, "No, man, no. This era is shit." If you actually watch boxing and you know boxing, I was a boxing fan before I was an MMA fan. Like, I love the sport. And for me, Usyk's style, his cardio, his IQ, his power, I think he's up there. What do you think of the Scouser Paddy the Baddy? Personality-wise, I think he's a annoying wet wipe, but as a fighter, he's definitely improved. Crawford's amazing as well, but Crawford's CV hasn't. I don't think the issue that Crawford's gonna have is his CV is not amazing. Tank is fighting Jake Paul soon. I think Tank is looking like a mini Tank right now. That could be funny. If Tank is a scumbag as well, but if he chins Jake Paul, that would be amazing. Floyd Mayweather is the best at boxing of all time. Say what you want about him personally, but as a boxer, tough to debate. I kind of agree with you. Floyd is up there. I have this pick on Ty because I lost the bet on. I have to pick on Ty because I lost the bet to Lane. Oh, right, there you go. That makes sense. Floyd's fight, Maidana was one. There was another guy as well who, had, I can't remember the guy's name. He had like a really drunken kind of style, a really tough style to deal with. And Floyd Mayweather had fits for that guy. Triple G was getting avoided a lot. No, I don't quite remember much about that now. Triple G was, and he's been robbed loads of times. It's like Lomachenko. Lomachenko won like 300 fights at amateur. Lomachenko's style is phenomenal, but he has a fight loss on his record to Devin Haney, who is shit. Devin Haney is terrible. And even though that was a robbery, the fact that you're making it robberyable with Devin Haney is a problem. I think somebody like Inoue has a chance of as being seen as one of the greatest of all time, pound for pound wise. Ryan Garcia hit the nose. And look what Ryan Garcia did to Devin Haney. Beat the shit out of him. There's nothing wrong with your list, Rays. It's your list. But I guarantee you, yeah, Ernie will argue with you down to the ground. Do you think sumo wrestling would dominate any fighter that can properly kick? I mean, those guys are legitimate giants. But I tell you something now, yeah. The problem with sumo, you elbow somebody in the face or knee them up the middle or crack away at their legs, they're gonna have problems. Once they felt an elbow to the nose, they'll know. A country you'd never visit, Somalia. Hell no, I wouldn't go to Somalia. It's kind of rude that that's the first one I thought of, but what's your content, bro? We mostly talk about MMA, but it's pretty much a male support group. This is just people to turn up and talk about whatever shit they want. You think my list is good? I think your list is interesting for sure, man. I agree with some parts of it and disagree with others, but it's not like I'm shitting on your list and going, nah, man, it's ridiculous, because it's your list. What's up, Batman? How you doing, brother? No, like if you could kick their legs, if they could kick, their legs are massive though. It doesn't matter, man. If you're not used to taking leg kicks, you're gonna have issues. And once you get smacked in the nose, I was saying this before Euro, yeah. If I could pick one martial art to let my son do, if I could only choose one, I would choose Muay Thai. Because for me, in a real life combat situation, hitting somebody with a fist, you've got the issue of it breaking, blah, blah, blah. If you can knee somebody and elbow somebody and kick, a person in an average fight is not going to expect that. What part do you disagree with? I would say Stipe. Stipe was very good. And the fact that he's seen as the greatest heavyweight of all time, which you can argue he is, shows how fucking shit heavyweight is in the first place. But I think Stipe had a lot of, I don't know, he had holes in his game as well. So I wouldn't have Stipe on my prime list. So yeah, that's mostly where I go. Bro, why didn't you put timestamps on your videos? I've been trying to watch, but I only catch you live when I catch you, but I still want to know what your thoughts were on. The problem is, man, Ernie, like my streams are fucking long. So in order for me to timestamp them, I'd have to go through the entire thing and watch it, and then I'd have to put personal timestamps in, which I just don't have the time for. Bivol's amazing as well. I thought he won that original Better BF fight as well. So Bivol's up there in terms of right now, pound for pound greats. Do you think John Jones had a good career? I do. I think he's had a scammy career, but it's hard to deny that he's had a good one. So career was fine. Who would you replace Stipe with? Can you post a list again, if you don't mind? Max Holloway is suffering from brain health. I mean, Euro. What else do you expect? Max Holloway has taken more shots to the head than any human in history. That's probably not a fact, but it's close. I like Beans. Nice for you, man. Now I know, like he lost, he didn't do great, but if he would have won, it might not have fucked his mental a lot. Oh, sorry, that was for Northwest. I'm glad you like Beans. I'm happy for you. By the way, guys, sorry to remind you guys again. I completely keep forgetting. If you wouldn't mind throwing up a like on the stream, you don't have to sub if I'm not the kind of content that you're into, but a like would definitely be appreciated. Imagine Jake Paul and KSI. I hate both of them, but I'm telling you now. I mean, KSI I hate more than anyone well, apart from Logan, maybe in terms of that space. I'd love to see both of them get battered. I genuinely would. It would be extra funny if Tank was the one to do it, just because of how embarrassing it would be. But that's going to be an exhibition fight. It's going to end in nothing. That's why I predict that going. For career, Mighty Mouse 1, GSP 2, Islam 3. I slightly disagree with the Islam one because I don't think he's had good enough. I don't think he had a better CV than, say, John Jones did when he was fighting in his prime. I don't think he had a better CV than Anderson Silva did in his prime or career. I don't think he's beat better names than Anderson Silva did, but that's up for debate. Amanda Nunes is the same issue in terms of she had a great career, but she is a two-time champion, but featherweight was never a fucking division. They should have never had that. And Amanda Nunes has beat who? Do you know what I mean? Who has she beat that's like an all-time great fighter? Shevchenko. She's beaten Cyborg, which again was kind of like a flash win. Probably if those two fight, I reckon that goes 5 for 5. I don't think the women's divisions are good enough. In terms of the way she dominated, I guess you could make a case for that, but I don't think she had competition that could, that could put her up there, in my opinion. But I like that you've concluded. This might sound fucked up here. I think that Zhang Weili has had a better career than her. I know she lost to Rose with the head kick, but I thought she clearly won the rematch. And the way she's improved, and in the people that she's beaten as well, and the way she's done it, I think if she beats Valentina, you can make an argument that she's the greatest women's fighter of all time. And some people may hate that, but Yuri Boyka has a good movie though, for real. I went and saw that Good Fortune movie, the Keanu Reeves one. It was actually decent. Can't wait for Weili versus Shevchenko. Neither can I, and I really hope Weili wins. I'm a massive Weili fan. I saw her. I was in Shenzhen when she won. Guo on Guo action, 100%. It's the fight. Jones has still had a better career than Islam, but Islam's can be better if he beats JDM and then beats Tapuria, he might be number 1. I thought Shevchenko beat Amanda in the second fight. I don't think that's a bad take either. Have you seen the baddie episode? I'm gonna start betting on those. Which baddie episode? Skincare. Do you mean what skincare do I use? I just used E45. Simple moisturizer, mate. Who would you replace Stipe with? 1 second, let me go back. Hang on a second, governor. I wouldn't have Cain Velasquez as prime either. I think I do think he was very good, but again, too many questionable losses on his career. BJ Penn's not a bad one. And Conor McGregor, I don't really hate Conor McGregor. In prime, I'd have DJ. I'd have DJ in prime. I'd have GSP in prime. My career and prime list are quite similar, because I've kind of combined both those things and nature of wins to come up with my GOAT list. So I would probably have it. But again, if that's your opinion, I don't hate it. I don't count PEDs, by the way. Fair enough. If you take out asterisks, John Jones isn't even on the list. Prime John Jones versus Khabib. You think his undefeated? Yeah, John Jones would have killed Khabib. They might as well be a different species. John Jones is fucking massive. You think Dana and Jones' bromance is sexual? I'm suspicious, bro. I don't think they've been banging each other, but I think they've been doing weird things together. Do you know what I mean? I think there's like a Diddy-esque situation going on with those cunts, where they've both been to like masked parties and they've spit roasted women and all that kind of stuff, and probably dudes as well. You're crazy if you don't think Dana White has banged every piece of ass in the UFC. Silver was on PEDs as well. Again, he was caught cheating as well. I just think with Jones, the reason why it always seems worse, I think, and I'm being honest here. I've said John Jones is one of the most high IQ fighters of all time. I've said he's got one of the best careers of all time. He's also cheated the most times, not just with the PEDs, but with the finger poking and he's just a dirty fighter as well. He goes to maim and injure people. Islam is never fighting Ilya, never making. I agree with Westy on this one. I don't think Ilya's going to go up to 170, and I don't think Islam's going to go back down to 155. I can see Ilya hanging around in 155 for a while, cleaning up the division. Beating up Paddy, beating Arm. Like Ilya's got to fight Paddy. He's got to fight Arman, which means that he probably won't be in a position to fight Islam until 2027. And I don't think Islam's going to hang around in the sport for that long either. I reckon we get 2 or 3 more fights from Islam as well. We might get them two's last fight fighting each other potentially. You have to recognize Islam was the GOAT if he wins against JDM. And I'm not going to, bro. I said I agree with you. I agree. If he gets those 2 names on his CV, he gets a second belt, and he beats Ilia Tapuri, who I think is pound for pound the best fighter in the sport right now. Yep, he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I think that's inarguable at that point. It also depends on how he wins as well. Do you think Michael Jackson was a kid toucher? I mean, I wasn't there, but it certainly sounds suspicious. It's spooky month. How you doing, RJ Gastar? Spooky month is my favorite time of the year. It's so funny how Diaz got banned over smoking some Zaza, but Jones get away. The whole Jones and UFC relationship, the glazing, the fact that he gets away with fucking everything is gross. The way Jones beat Garn was crazy though. It was so dominant, it looked rigged. Crystal, you're wild for Crystal been wild. Free Epstein, my boy ain't do nothing. God forbid your YouTube he's dead. What do you mean by free him? Do you mean resurrect him? Free him and resurrect him. GSP had the best clean career. After Jones' most title defenses, he's double champ and he lost 2 times and got back in the real GOAT, but Jones has the best storyline. At the end, the reason why I have GSP second and not first is because he lost to Johnny Hendricks and then ran away. That didn't sit with me well. He had way too many decisions in his career, which is also a problem for me. And I don't think we saw him enough in his prime. Whereas with DJ, he had 11 title defenses. He won in every foreseeable way. So he had arm bars, he had kicks finishes, he had punch finishes, he had submissions, he had everything under the sun. And then he goes to 1, goes up a weight class and fights some absolute murderers there, wins another belt. I think his career is standalone the best ever. And then he turns up at BJJ tournaments against guys that are like double his size and he's submitting people. I think DJ pound for pound is the greatest to ever do it. How far away do you think Marab is from being in the Mount Rushmore? I don't think he's far away. I've got Marab very comfortably in the top 10 now. Frankie, have you ever been fortunate enough to crack Babushka? Why does that sound familiar? What is Babushka? If Ilya loses to Arman, such a shame. Yeah, because that would look bad. It really would look bad. Are you that guy that be sniffing seats? Why do people do that? What are you reading right now? Actually, right now, I'm reading a book by Joe Abercrombie called shit. He's a British author. It's called The Devils, and it's outstanding. So Joe Abercrombie, The Devils, he's probably my favorite all-round author. Everything he writes is fucking superb. but you kind of have to be into kind of fantasy stories to enjoy him. And even if you're not, he's just a great writer. Characters are amazing in his stories. I would recommend going back and reading some of his old work, but right now I'm reading his latest, which is called The Devils, and it's phenomenal. I'm enjoying it. Dean could have really be something. He's only famous for choking. Diaz has overachieved, in my opinion, but fair play to him, and he's funny as well. Babushka is Russian women that are old and cranky. Do you read self-improvement books? Nah, not really. KSI is awful, and his forehead really pisses me off. I know that's fresh coming from me with my forehead, but his is somehow even worse. At Ernie, good job ducking all my comments. Nah, Musa, I don't read self-improvement books. I think it's better to read autobiographies of people that you are inspired by, and then seeing how they live their lives. Because I find self-improvement books can be a little bit overly generalized and cliched. What is your job? I'm a professor. What footballer do you think would be successful in the UFC? Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Go-to breakfast food. English breakfast, sir, all day long. But Athletic Commission banned Diaz and Jones, not UFC. I mean, yeah, but rules were different back then. And it's not John Jones. I want to see Putin and Trump Putin would fuck Trump up, bruv. Putin would destroy him. I'm sorry to say. I know that you're American. I know that even if you hate Trump, the American in you would be like, nah, man, America. He would get slumped. Read my last comment. For career, I have 1 Mighty Mouse, 2 GSP, 3 Islam, 4 Amanda Nunes. For prime, I have Cain Velasquez, BJ Penn, Conor McGregor, Stipe. Who would you replace the ones I disagree with? All right, without PEDs, I would go Mighty Mouse first, GSP second. I would go Volkanovski third. I'd go Ilya Topuria fourth. Marab fifth. And I'd have that for both career and prime. If you're taking anything we know about PEDs and cheating out of it, that's what I would go for. Where in Australia are you from, by the way, Euro? And have you heard of a streamer called Dougie's Corner? Putin is like 5'8". Trump is like 6'3". Putin would fuck him up, bruv. If it was a war of words, we know who's winning that one. But in a fight, right now, Putin fucks him up, bruv. Absolutely fucks him up. My guy, Hayden McGillen is back. How you doing, bruv? It was really good talking with you yesterday. I'm looking forward to having you on at some point. Thanks for coming back, man. Really appreciate it. Hope you're well. Shout out to you. Another quick reminder, yeah, if you wouldn't mind throwing up a like on the stream, I would like to hit at least 50. That would be nice. You're from New South Wales in Australia. I've never known anyone who's from that part. What's it like there? Not gonna lie, I low-key think DJ is the GOAT. Like being that much of a dominant. It's more the way that he won as well. The fact that he did it clean. He is a fucking student of the game. If you can think of any way that somebody wins an MMA fight, DJ's done it in every conceivable way. And I think his CV is really underrated as well. You think Putin can fight because all the fake judo videos, yeah, but at least he's got fake judo videos. He does come off a little bit like, what's his name? Steven Seagal, like completely phony. And he's an ex-KGB soldier, exactly. I mean, I do think he was protected a little bit. Putin just seems like he's got a little bit more of like a mean streak to him. I can see him smashing and not stopping. But I mean, Trump is not exactly bitch made. I mean, the way he took that bullet and sort of was just so chatty about it. Got to give him credit for that as well. But I don't know, man. Putin fucks him up, in my opinion. And it doesn't matter, yeah. Height doesn't matter. I mean, we just saw what fucking Mirzakanov did to Rakic. They got like an 8-inch difference, don't they? In height. Probably in dick side as well. My guy felt the same way. Sup, Weston, what's good, mate? I look forward to it. Yeah, I look forward to having you on. I'm really intrigued to hear like your experiences, like genuinely. Yesterday was very intriguing for me. I really I really enjoyed just kind of getting to know you and talking to you, man. It was really enlightening. And I appreciate the fact that you were so open and willing to tell your story because I always want to know. I always want to learn about people's perspective and things that they've been through. And I agree with you. Putin would get on the inside and chin his ass. I think anyone who says that Trump would have a chance is delusional. I'm glad that Ernie and Shamar, two known trolls in here, in a good way, but two known arguers, should I say, are locked in the middle of a beef. Maybe one day we can have you both on the actual channel, and then you can argue in person. How would that feel? Trump can't even walk in a straight line, let alone fight. And the fact that somebody even brought it up is hilarious. Putin's a type 100%. Rodzilla's nailed. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, he reminds me of that cunt who like gets a position in and doesn't let go. Trump would be tapping, and he'd be Putin would finish you off, whereas Trump would just humiliating you would be enough. Putin would be still stamping your head while your brains are leaking out. He comes across as a genuine psychopath to me. And Putin alone would, well, yeah, Putin's a legit billionaire, whereas Trump's a fake one. Trump's got a pee bag on his thigh. Trump is 79. I thought he was in his 80s. I mean, I know that Trump is internationally hated, and I get why. He amuses me though, man. He makes me laugh. I'm glad that I get to enjoy him from like a great distance. Do you know what I mean? Nah, his prime was after that when he beat JDS twice over. Do you mean? I mean, I think Cain Velasquez was amazing, but he just didn't fight enough. His place at the top of the sport was far too short. I get what you're saying, prime, but we didn't really get to see him fight anyone that great. I mean, his best win was probably JDS, and that guy's been slumped by everyone. It wasn't a serious comment, rather a sarcastic one on Trump's walk. Putin is how a real killer acts. Trump wants to look like a killer. Trump is based as fuck. I don't doubt that. And I think he's got balls. But it's different. It's different. No, yeah, I read it out, Rays. I read it out. I've got stories to tell you. Be first for me, though. I'm up for it, mate. And Trump versus... Oh, Trump would beat Starmer's an absolute vagina, mate. I take back everything I said about Trump. He would batter. Starmer looks like an absolute pussy. Did you train in any combat sport? I used to do judo and wrestling when I was a kid. But I'm the kind of guy that if I was to get into a fight these days, I would just pick something up and hit you with it, or I'd headbutt you, or I'd bite your nose off. I'm just more of a. I'm not really. And obviously, I watch UFC, so I know what I'm doing, just like we all do, right? I tell you something though, non-UFC fighter loses to UFC. Sorry, non-UFC watcher loses to UFC watcher every day of the week. I'm slightly saying that tongue in cheek. Man, I'm a huge Trump fan, but yeah, got to admit on this case, Putin would take him into the octagon and the bank balance. Putin has been robbing easy for years. He's been bloating that bank balance for a long time now. That Russian money is serious. Street fighting is different. What do you think of Zoran Mamdani? I don't know who that is, mate. Who is that? Can you give me a little quick history lesson? Because I can't be fucked to Google it. I've been listening for hours, just never get to the keyboard. Shout out to Kerry, Rob's neighbor. If you're into automobiles and a based son of a bitch who likes to work on them on live stream, your boy is Rob's neighbor, real name Kerry. Subscribe to the man. Kerry, have you hit 1,000 subs yet? You must be ball achingly close. I find it funny how most voters of Trump were the immigrants and younger gen, and the most that hate him are they themselves. I think most of the people feel lied to. I think a lot of people, this is why Americans by and large are really dumb here. They thought, yeah, that when Trump won, that he was gonna expose all of the government, weed out the sewer because he's pretty based in the way he says things, and that he was gonna, most importantly, reveal the Epstein list. And obviously, he was never gonna do that. I haven't seen the back and forth between Sharma and Ernie, but I'm telling you, Ernie is unbreakable. He will never admit when he's wrong, and I rate him for it. Bro, you read things out in such a way, you know, sick guy. I'm retarded, mate. That's all it is. He's got a lot of controversy. I don't really know anything about them. I don't know anything about him. How does Trump have balls when he's been Israel's bitch? But there's probably reasons behind that. There's probably reasons why. I'm saying, yeah, he comes across as kind of a tough guy at least, and I'm convinced by it because he said some pretty outlandish things. I think we should all be worried, yeah, because when Putin's on his deathbed, he's gonna do some wild shit. That's when nuclear war is gonna kick off because when he's facing his mortality, he's gonna be like, "Fuck it." That's what I see going down because he's a genuine lunatic. I typed retarded. Is like, nah, mate. I'm fluent in retardation, mate. I don't even deny it. I don't even deny it. All the presidents are controlled by Israel. Well, they're not having too good a time themselves right now, are they? Their soft politics is not going very well. I mean, half the world, if not more, hates them. So if they're in as much control of the media and money as people say, they're not doing very well in garnering their reputation. But the UK is in an even worse position. I mean, we're all over the place. We are all over the shop. But yeah, I want to give you boys a shout out again tonight. We've managed to gain, and I say we because this is our community. We've gained another 25 subs today, which is crazy. And I appreciate every single one, new and old, who hasn't just subscribed to the channel but keeps coming back. You're all fucking amazing, and I appreciate all of you. Yo, Messi or Ronaldo? I feel like I bring this up on every stream, but I'm going to say it again because obviously you haven't heard my take on this. Messi. Messi is the most naturally talented, but Ronaldo, I give him a lot of credit for his hard work. So, bro, like you say, simulation. Simulation is a real thing, bro. Yo, Beckham or Rooney? Rooney. Beckham was like a luxury player, whereas Rooney was just an out and out baller. But the only thing with Rooney, he was also a fat cunt who wasted his career. And his penchant for old vagina is very, very worrying for me. So I appreciate that Euro, man. I really do. We've got quite a few Australian and Euro. While you're here, check out a guy called Dougie's Corner. He's an MMA YouTuber that's way bigger than this channel. And he's from your part of the world. So I think you'd really enjoy him. Based as fuck and really fun to listen to. So Dougie's Corner. If there's any mods in here who are still active, if they wouldn't mind dropping a link for Dougie's Corner, I'd really appreciate it. Imagine aliens visiting. I'm pretty sure they have. We have no defenses, only nukes to destroy each other. Yeah, humans are like that though, aren't we? We'd rather kill ourselves and let somebody else do it. Nice answer. Lots of love from India, Bangalore. Nice to meet you, brother. And shout out to India. Green Street Hooligans was a great movie. Amazing movie. Lol, YouTube keeps removing my comments. Yeah. Rooney was a beast. Rooney is one of the most naturally talented English footballers of all time. He was amazing. I'll check him out. Yeah, dude, I think you'd really enjoy him. If you're into like fighting and you know, just based opinions in general, he's a really good guy to listen to. Who do you think is at fault for the UK becoming the book 1984? I think we are, James Dillon. George Orwell was one of my favorite authors of all time, but 1984 is a slog, and I really do enjoy it. It's Dougie's Corner. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna find it. I'm being a lazy tosser right now. Give me a second. I'll stick his link in the description because he is a really good YouTuber, and I think you'd enjoy him. Hang on a second. Dougie's Corner. Where are you, sir? I'm gonna have to. Oh, here he is. Dougie's Corner. There was a point when he and I had the same amount of subscribers, and he has absolutely mogged me. The legend that he is, and rightfully so. I don't train in MMA at all. Nah, I don't. Like I said, I used to do. Read my comment, Frankie. Hang on a second, Musa. There are no reasons, buddy. Trump is being blackmailed by Israel, but is there proof of that though? Like, what evidence do you have to support that? It is rhetoric that goes out there quite a lot, but where's the evidence for that? All right, Takeshi, I'll say it. Bottle of water. Too bad links won't work in vertical. So the guy you're looking for, if you type in Dougie's Corner like that, you'll find him. He has like a picture of it. Well, it says Dougie's Corner in his P4P, but in his banner, it has like a picture of a kangaroo doing boxing. And then it has an Aussie's take on all things MMA and UFC. He is a phenomenal creator. What's your height, man? I'm 5'7", 5'7" of gorgeous sexual white chocolate. Mwah. How you doing, Takeshi? Ernie and Shama are really getting into it, and I love it. Ernie and Shama, do you want a platform to air out your grievances at some point? Like maybe during the week, we could maybe set it for like a Wednesday, and then you two can just come in and have a go at it. What's your face shape? Depends on which angle you look at it from, I guess. I read your last message already, Raze. Oh, JDS wasn't alone. Bigfoot Silver, Lesnar, Nogueira, Ben Rothwell. I mean, do you know what I'm saying? It's not that great a CV, is it? Bottle of water. Frankie, who was the guy in the glasses in the live review? Brutally Honest MMA. Brutally Honest MMA. He's a great dude as well. His channel's amazing too. He actually makes videos that are awesome as well. I used to actually make substantive videos back in the day, but I don't do it anymore. I want war. You can have war as long as you two keep it respectful. If you're up for it, we could do like a live debate. We could have like set topics, and then you guys can. I'll just sit back and watch you guys fucking cook, and I'll just be the moderator. Favorite animal: a wolf. I like wolves. PSA, like the stream, leave the stream, go to liked vids and reopen the stream. Then links will work. Thank you, Westy. I appreciate that. Go Furious. Thank you so much for hanging around. I really appreciate it. I really do. Hang on, Ernie. I thought you were bigging up Islam the last time, or were you just arguing for the sake of it? I'm pretty sure you and I got into an argument about Islam and Hamzat. What's your favorite UK rapper? My favorite UK rapper is a gentleman by the name of Jest. I'll type his name in here. He is the guy, but UK rap is generally dog shit. Now your channel, I subscribe and included my favorite channel. Thank you for saying bottle of water. If that's all it took to get a subscription, I'm happy to have hoarded myself for your entertainment. I don't know what it is about people loving saying, anyone here listen to Mist? No, I've never heard of them. Pin my comment. Hang on a sec. I'm not sure if that's pinned it properly. Give me a second. Let me jump back. I'm going to view my channel. You're going to hear me talking to myself in a minute. So 1 second. Westy. Let me pin this shit. Pin message. There we go. I love when Brits call people from other countries a sausage. It really hurts, doesn't it, being called a sausage? Sausage, I know it doesn't sound it, but it's a fucking vicious thing to call somebody. Bad Boy Chiller Crew is a banger. I've never heard of him. Yeah, I went to my YouTube and pinned it. Silky Mist. Never heard of him. Is that a him or is that like a? I've never heard. I don't really listen to a lot of music, you know. I'm not down with the this generation. I'm really not. It's kind of sad, but why didn't you use in it constantly like all other tea and crumpet blokes? I think I'm aware. I think I became very, very aware of that affectation and I stopped doing it. I used to say in it. And if you listen carefully to my streams here, I say, do you know what I mean? A lot, which is a very British thing to do. I try to tone it down as much as I can, but another good UK rapper is Cassis Dead. I don't even know who that fucker is either. Oh, the Mocklamizer cunt is back. How you doing, Liverpool FC? Hate your club. Glad you're in a free fall right now. Fuck you, cunt. And like and subscribe. What time are you live streaming, bro? I'm in Japan now morning. I usually stream 8:30 p.m. UK time, usually every second day, but sometimes I do like multiple days in a row. It kind of depends. Tea and crumpet blokes is spookily accurate. By the way, Takeshi, where are you from in Japan? because I've been to Hokkaido and I've been to Osaka, and I had one of the best holidays of my life there. Japanese people are amazing. The cleanliness there, the hospitality was beautiful. Beautiful. Man, listen to some Mist, buddy. Mist hot property. I'll give it a shot. Free Logan Paul from what? If anything, we should be locking Logan Paul up. Do go to north of Pakistan after you go to India. So cheap, yet comparable in beauty to Switzerland. Pakistan is on my list. I do have a lot of friends that are from there, and I've heard it's amazing. And I've been invited to come over loads of times. It's just that there's so many places high up on my list, but Pakistan is getting higher. And I will be honest here, I will get a chance to visit both because I feel like it's necessary at this time. 9:57 in Australia in the morning. Best rapper from England is Possessed from the group Rhyme Asylum. Seriously. I'm going to have to look that up as well because I need ammunition when people come for us UK people. Because you shit all over our food, which you're correct to do so because our food is a bit sus. But at least we have our own food that we didn't just steal from everyone like Americans do. The rap game is not really that good. If you haven't heard of Jest, check him out. Jest is amazing. Jest is amazing. Country Dons, bro. Check them out. You won't be disappointed. Euro, I 100% will. Is it true that there's no trash cans in Japan? I don't remember looking out for that. They're very advanced when it comes to stuff. I'll put it that way. Japan have got some really innovative ideas. They're always thinking about how to make things practical. Islam versus Jack. Who'd you got? Honest opinion. I think it's going to be a very close fight, Raju. I think both of them are phenomenal fighters. I'm going with Jack Della Maddalena because I think he's going to be able to stuff enough takedowns. And when they're on the feet, I think Jack is going to beat the absolute shit out of his body. And his boxing is going to be hard to deal with. But I think it's going to be a close decision one way or the other. But I'm going to edge Jack Della Maddalena. And it's not because I'm shitting on Islam, because I think Islam's phenomenal. But I think stylistically, I think Jack is going to be tough to deal with. Rhyme Asylum is the best group of all time. I'm going to take a picture of this so that I can. Can you recommend a startup tune to get introduced to them? Like what? Like because if I'm only going to give them one impression, and I might, what tune do you reckon I should go with? Let's go with. I'm going to take a picture of that Rhyme Asylum, just so I remember to check them out. If you could give me one song to check out, though. I mean, it's like picking between Keir Starmer and Rishi Sunak is like trying to choose between, I don't know, dark brown and light brown diarrhea. I just watched a video saying Brit's entire food palette is stolen from somewhere else. How dare you bash those beautiful stripes and stars? Has to be done, cunt. Thank you, Northwest. I really appreciate that. Northwest, by the way, yeah, let me know when you get your money. Please. But it shows that it's pending, right? Like somebody has attempted to send it to you because I'm going to have to fucking go off. Broken Window by Riot. I'm going to listen to that as soon as I get off stream. I think Country Dons are from the UK. I've never heard of them as well. Are there any decent Australian rappers out there? Or is that a stupid question? Who do you think was winning in Aspinall versus Gone? I think Gone probably edged around where it was, but I certainly think he did well to control the center of the cage. He was backing Gone up. Gone was pretty much running the entire time. I think the heavier shots, certainly the ones to the legs, were landed by Tom Aspinall. Gone obviously did more visible damage. But no, I think Aspinall was comfortable enough, apart from the fact that his face was leaking, which can happen to the best of us when you get caught with a nice jab. I think it was more the visuals that made it look so bad. And also a lot of people hate Tom Aspinall and they suck John Jones's ball bag. So I think that has a lot to do with it. I'm not even a big Tom Aspinall fan. In fact, I kind of don't like his personality at all. And I do think he's doing well, mostly because the heavyweight division is shocking. But I still think he was in a position where he was going to win the fight. And I think Gon took a way out by poking him in the eye because that was as blatant as it gets. Out There by Project Pat. I'm really happy for the suggestions, man. I'm going to give these all a go. If you're going to give Jest a chance, seeing as if we want to, reciprocate, If you check out Jest, the only song, City of Industry. Let me see if I can play it right now. That could be something to. I don't want my channel to get fucking nuked. Let me see if I can play this without getting in trouble. Oh, wait, hang on. Let me see if I can play this. Hang on. I need to be very careful. Let me see if I can play this. If I get kicked off stream, this is why I don't do it, but I'm gonna take a chance on this one. Let me see if I can play it. I might get kicked off here for copyrighting, but let's see. Hopefully you guys can hear this.
Airborne, my thoughts shrouded by cloud form. The land ravaged in the wake of this ground war. The quintessential outlaw. I have the storm, my tears fall as a torrential downpour. The flood, your death wish written in blood. I came in from the cold clothes dripping with mud. Gripping the club, primitive as Stig of the dump. Swinging a punch, the bad seed, pick of the bunch. I drink black rain, take another swig and I'm drunk. Taste venom on the tip of my tongue, my lips cold. Spitting out.
I'll probably get a message then I can't monetize, but I'm not anyway.
Never sold my soul for fool's gold, so I'm still free. But too numb to feel pity, some broke down. Now the still city's a ghost town. Snowflakes cover the ground in white carpets. Seasons of espionage as time passes. The lion-hearted survival of the hardest artists. My open arms embrace darkness, still craving carnage and infamy. But even parasites starving this carcass of industry.
He's got a very British sound, that's why. If you don't like the way British people sound, you're not going to enjoy him.
You can see me as cynical, trapped in my own gothic vision. Encapsulating chaos in this composition. Calculated like the lies of a politician. Gripping a slingshot, I size up the opposition. I drop a match in the clouds and watch the flames rise. Fire water falling from these grey skies. The painted train lines, chrome over red brick, reflective like a gemstone in a cesspit. Just gives belief to a skeptic. The truth neglected like open wounds that turn septic. Infected by the forked tongue of a liar. Now my thoughts are the colour of fire. And my nights spent bunning the kaya. Uninspired by the freak show, I see ghosts dancing the trail of my weed smoke. My words are folklore that survived the cold war.
This is the kind of song you got to listen to multiple times. Break down how
ankle deep in snowfall, leaping over dry stone walls with a holdall. Steam clouds rise from my fiery breath. It's the last twilight before the silence of death.
All right, I'll give one as long as I don't get Broken Window by Rhyme Asylum. This could get me kicked off, but we'll give it a go because I think they're more relevant. Broken Window, Rhyme Asylum. All right, let's give this a all right, let's give this a go. Hang on. Hopefully I've got the right one. It sounds nice.
My name is Dean Emmett, victim of a serious mistake. Diagnosed as clinically insane, sectioned, imprisoned and detained. The last thing I remember, I was being physically restrained. First sense something was amiss. Noticing the other inmates had cuts across their wrists. My trust in the nurses hesitated. Instantly ceased taking medication. Wait, they segregated selective mental patients. Once caught a glimpse of the room where they saved them. Reasons why remain undisclosed. 100 volts straight to the victim's frontal lobes. Disguised as medical tests. These vulnerable people were being sentenced to death. This is beyond madness. I had to escape, spent night and day racking my brain. Insomniac, but I had no solid plan. One day in group therapy, eventually lost my rag. Is this some kind of sick joke. Next thing I knew, a doctor pushed me straight through a window. I woke later in my bed as my mind cleared, the pain in my side, sparking the idea. Tied up with outside effects, lose the undetected shard of glass and behind my vest. Heart pounding inside my chest, managed to slice my restraints, fell down beside my bed. Stood up, pulled off the ceiling, tired mesh, climbed the winding vents, entangled in spiders' webs. Exited down a flight of steps, ditched my hospital gown so the dogs won't find the scent. Felt the cold wind on my face, blinded by the moonlight, my mental prison escape.
Lyrically it's good and it sounds quite, I don't know what the word is, haunting. I would use the word haunting. Anyway, I'm gonna cut off the music for now because I don't want to push my luck too much. But appreciate that. I'll definitely check out more of this stuff. I've heard enough here to know. Oh, Immortal Technique's amazing as well. Immortal Technique is amazing. I'm from the UK. This is terrible music. Well, Josh has pretty much closed the book on that one. Immortal Technique is amazing. I really miss people like Lupe Fiasco was a favorite of mine. I used to prefer sort of underground, sort of independent hip hop back in the day. So it wasn't it's not something that I'm not really into much mainstream stuff, if I'm being honest. But I appreciate the shouts. I think I need to be just careful with because what tends to happen is they then take my streams down and I can't turn them into shorts afterwards because they won't download as a video. Rhyme Asylum I know is a banger as well. I mean, from what I've heard of that, I could definitely see there's from their style, there's stuff I'd enjoy. Immortal Technique is a liar, talented wordsmith, but his ideas of history is just wrong. Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. But again, it all comes down to it's like anyone arguing about music. It's such a personal thing. I'll be honest with you, DM. I don't know much about Mac Miller, you know. I may have inadvertently listened to some of his stuff, but what do you think of Nina Drama? I think she's a fucking whore who has no business being in the MMA space whatsoever. I think she should be doing Pornhub. Ikram. All right, I'll take a picture of this as well. I'll add this to the list because I'm more. You know, it's always nice to like I said, a good way of interacting with the community is getting involved with some of the stuff that you like as well. I'll take a picture of 2-on-12 Heat as well. But yeah, I'll definitely take these recommendations into consideration. Base take on Nina. Yeah, it's not really that base. It's kind of bad. I mean, she's not like she really hurt anyone. But if you're asking if I would gain Shillis, I would. Yes, Flynn, you're right. I mean, that's a different question. Do I think she should be in the part of the MMA community? No. Would I throw a stick or two in that direction? 100%. Just one though. Maybe two. She might get two out of me, but that's it. I am disgusting. But those are two different questions. OnlyFans Nina, but she's 37 years old. I mean, there's still a niche for that. I mean, she's not bad for a 37-year-old. I just hate her personality. That's the problem. That's the problem I have. What day are we thinking about doing a panel then, mate? I'm thinking we could do Sunday's usually a good day for me because, to be honest with you, Hayden, Sunday is usually when we get the most viewers. So it could be like a niche thing for everyone to do. And it's also a time when everyone's kind of chilled out. We get more of like a mixture. What I would do, hit me up on Twitter as well. Because I might just make it an open panel where I'll just throw it up. And then you and I can do a little bit in the beginning where we can maybe prepare some of the stuff that you might want to talk about. Or some of the stuff you might want to share about your experiences. We don't even really need to prepare because I think I've got tight enough interview skills to deal with the situation. But yeah, Sam, I'm still here, bro. Hey, if Frankie puts you and I on the same live, do not run away again and keep it MMA. Yeah, that's the thing we've got to have. We've got to keep it like not personal. Would be like throwing a sausage down a hallway, mate, or a chicken wing back into a KFC bucket. You're probably right about that. But I wouldn't mind finding out. But again, I mean, gain shit is obviously as soon as the deed is complete, you know, get the fuck out. Don't hang around for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? That would be my attitude. But yeah, if you guys are up for doing like, maybe we could set like a specific day where we could have people coming on who want to do like MMA debates with each other. I think that could be very interesting as long as we can keep it respectful. And I would like to do more like getting to know you pieces where some of the subscribers come on, like our boy, Hayden, who's obviously had experiences in his life that you'd like to talk about, and I find very, very interesting that I'd like to know about. So we can do stuff like that. It's all kind of up to you guys what you wanna see and do. But I think I want to make there was a time when I used to do open panels, and it's one aspect of the community that I really miss because some people obviously don't want to go on YouTube and do their own thing, but they'd like the opportunity to be part of a community and vibe. Do you wear 100% cotton zip hoodies with a hood? I'm pretty sure you've asked me this question before, and I'm pretty sure it was sexually related. You'll fight someone. You mean you want to do like an actual like let's go, or like a verbal fight? Just to be clear, I feel like Islam will win via submission round 4 versus Jack, and will defeat Ilya via knockdown if it stays on the hands of Ilya Superior and Makhachev, Ilya's gonna chin him. Ilya is so good with his hands. There's no way that goes on any other time. I'll jump on sometime. I've got to take Junior to the store. I would love to have you on as well, Kerry. I think if he's going to win by anything, he's got to fight. And I think people don't know how good Ilya's ground game and takedown game is. I think if he's going to win in any way, you've got to give. That'll be the hope that he's able to take him down and get something on the ground. And I think Ilya's going to surprise some people. Frankie, I need the MMA debate with you personally. You're an iron who can sharpen mine. Shama, I know verbally will eventually run out. I mean, to be fair to Shama, yeah, he has had some really solid opinions on here as well. It's like with you, I don't always agree with what you have to say, but I respect your opinion and I respect Shama's opinion as well. So I think it could be interesting. No way, we saw the Emmett versus Ilya fight. Yeah, but I mean, he treated that man like a fucking pinata, bro. We'll keep it verbal. Too many self-jail sentences for that. So Hayden, what would you want to discuss? Would it want to be like an MMA thing, or would it want to be like something to do with politics or something? It would be interesting. Because we've done both. I know Juicy J. What a great name, by the way. I'm gonna take a picture of that just to be sure that I remember. Juicy J, thanks for the recommendation, bro. I really appreciate it. Anyone seen the Island Boy versus Charleston White fight? Charleston White is fucking funny, bro. Please tell me Charleston White beat him up. I'm assuming he did. I mean, Charleston White looks like more of a talker than more of a fighter, but please tell me Charleston White beat him up, because that would be embarrassing. Those Island Boys are the biggest pussies I've ever seen. Didn't they like suck each other's dicks or something? I can't stand clout goblins. And the Island Boys are notorious for being clout goblins. But yeah, hit me up. Hit me up, Hayden, and we'll sort something out. Whatever it is you feel comfortable talking about it. I'd like to do like a stream where we talk about kind of like what your experiences have been and stuff like that. If you want to straight up debate somebody, I'm down for that as well. Whatever you think will work, sir. Is the UK really the Islamic hellhole YouTube tells me it is? Not really, Gain Shillis. Not really. I think it's overhyped. I do think obviously there is a much larger Muslim population than there were back in the day, but all it is it's like people are crying about it because we let them do their. And I think where the issue's coming up is like if we try to bowl up in like the UAE or in Saudi Arabia and try to like build a church or fucking, start imposing some of our ways of doing things, they wouldn't have it there. So it's just interesting. But I don't think there's anything wrong with respecting other people's cultures. And I think all this bullshit about Muslims taking over the country, I think is way overblown. And part of the issue with it is that the Christian values that were the basis of this country for hundreds of years are now gone. When I used to go to a church, and I was raised as a Catholic, when I went to a church as a child, you would have to turn up 15, 20 minutes early to get a seat. Now you can go there and get in the front row. So it's not necessarily that Muslim values have grown stronger, or and obviously there are more Muslims. It's also the fact that Christians don't attend church anymore and that there's no sense of community anymore. So I feel like it's a combination of both. And I think British people are acting out to the wrong people, is what I would say. Get Shawa and Eddie on panel so they can have it outside the chat. Maybe we could pick a day and do it. UK is like the stab capital of the world, but that's because we've only got we haven't got guns in it. We've got to kill people with something. Actually, UAE has churches and temples. UAE has, but places like Saudi Arabia doesn't. I mean, you can buy alcohol in places like Qatar. You can buy pork there because I live there. You have to have a license to do so, but you can still get your hands on them. And guess who profits from those places? The Qataris, and rightfully so. And it is overly inflated as well. How you doing, Yuri Boka? Good. Thanks for the comment on the video the other day. You seem to be really enjoying it. I live in New Zealand and we are the same. Church is empty. The government is definitely importing a lot of Muslims here. And that's really what the issue is. It's like I think that a lot of people who are born in this country that consider themselves British, they're misplacing their anger on Muslims when their own sense of community and own sense of religious profligacy has gone down. Are you British? I'm actually Irish, but I grew up in the UK. But nice to see you here, Taraka S. Come on, Gone. What about Gone? It's a perfect place for it, Western Mass. I just wish it was about the MMA. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking maybe if we did maybe we could do it on like a Wednesday. We could make Wednesday like beef day, midweek where we just have not bad beef, but just like a little, I don't know, a little MMA chat. We could come up with some topics that you guys want to talk about beforehand. If you both hit me up on Twitter at Bad MMA Math, we can get it arranged. I think it could be funny. Australia is getting worse. Shootings daily and stabbings from teen gangs. It probably feels worse than it was. Because I'm telling you now, yeah, every generation always talks about the next one as if they're worse. We were fucked up as well. How old are you, by the way, Euro? I'm guessing, yeah, you're in your 30s. I could be wrong. As a literature professor, is there a grammatical distinction between using as a filler word and using it as a period or punctuation? Again, it kind of depends on the context, doesn't it? It depends on how you're utilizing it. Because obviously, if you're talking, it's an easier way of punctuating yourself. Whereas naturally, obviously, when you're using full stops and stuff, that would apply more to when you're writing than to when you're speaking. Because as you know, when we're speaking, we take natural pauses anyway. I hope that answered your question. Maybe it didn't. I like how it's a mixed chat. I really appreciate it as well. I think the fact that we get people from all over here stating their opinions, and even though I may say some cheeky things about some places, I want everyone from everywhere to feel comfortable being here and stating their opinions. That's what I want this chat to be about. You're 30, just about nailed it. Shout out to you, bro. Great points on the 3-2-1 fight. I would just add to it. Tom was winning the first couple of minutes while Garn was winning the last couple of minutes. Very unfortunate. I think that's the major problem with all of this. People are angry. Some people are angry at Garn. I think way more people should be angry at Garn than they are at Tom, which tells me that UFC are doing botting because we fucking know, yeah, that they pay for views and they pay for subs and that they're liars in general. So they're clearly trying to push that narrative that Garn, oh, poor Garn, the guy stuck his knuckle in his eyeball. But yeah, the next fight will be far more interesting. I think that's the problem. It's like we missed out on what could potentially be a fight and a closing of a chapter of a fight that I don't really give that much of a fuck about. I'm Irish mixed with Aboriginal Australian. What a beautiful mix that must be. What an amazing mix. This MMA chat and talk is better than the one guy with a mustache. That other guy are scared to talk about things. But you mean the one guy with a mustache? Are you talking about Lorenzo Predicts by any chance? Lorenzo Predicts does do a very good job of keeping things MMA related. I let things get as retarded as they naturally want to be in here. I don't mind talking about anything. Because the thing is, yeah, I'm not arrogant enough here. If I have a very limited knowledge about something, I'll just say, fuck man, I don't know. I won't divert or scramble or talk nonsense. But if I haven't just about enough to give my opinion on something, then I will. What about the book of Eunuch? Is real? Case in point, no idea what the fuck that is. None. Ernie, he's eye poked and hit multiple opponents to the back of the head. Northwest, to say that Garn is a cheater shows me that you're just like that last guy I clowned. It's a fucking fight. Frankie, the fans shouldn't criticize either guy. The thing is, Ernie, I've got to kind of side on the fact that one of the biggest problems we have in MMA, and you can't deny that yet, is that cheating. What's the point in having rules here if you're not going to consistently punish cheating? We've seen in the same card people get docked and not docked for doing the exact same thing. And it's frustrating because that inconsistency makes you wonder, and people's careers are on the line. Like there have been instances when someone's been eye poked, the fight's continued, they've lost. There have been instances where someone has cage grabbed or glove grabbed, gone on to lose the fight, and it's fucked up their career. So I do think that it is a problem, and I think we need consistency in the sport. I've talked about it multiple times. I've made videos about it on this platform. I think regardless of, I think we should have a replay system. I think we should be able to look at whether or not it's ended a round where they've had a look through the footage and they've gone, yep, that person has cheated. You take a point. It shouldn't just have to be in the moment. I don't give a fuck about stopping the fight to look at replays or whatever. I think we need to start moving towards that because cheating is affecting people's careers. And as long as people are getting away with it, they're going to keep doing it. And Cyril Gahn has done it in the past. He's done back of the head shots. He's done eye pokes in the past. And a lot of people get away with it. Christ is king. I will agree with this, yeah. I do think humans that believe that a god-like entity or a creator could exist in a human is next level arrogance, or that God is made in our image, or that we're made in the image of God is like next level arrogance. I do believe that Jesus existed. There's enough evidence out there to suggest it is the case. But I would lean more towards like somebody who, taught the right way to live, rather than somebody who's some like supernatural godlike being walking the face of the earth. And a lot of people will hate me saying that. A lot of people will agree with me. That's just my opinion. But at the end of the day, I wasn't there. Euro, you've been a breath of fresh air in this chat, mate. Welcome in. Euro, this is the reason why we do these streams. Because we get a couple of bellends here that turn up and talk absolute donkey shit. But then we get a legend like Euro that turns in. And it was the same with yesterday. It was the same with yesterday when we had Hayden coming in. If we end up getting one or two awesome fuckers in every stream, I'm going to keep doing this. Because you guys are worth it. Gain Schiller seems like a funny dude as well. Bro, the rule is you need to have your hand as a high five as opposed to fingers out. They need to do something to prevent eye pokes as opposed to trying to criticize natural reactions. It's fighting man. I don't have issues with the fact that it was a natural reaction. I'm not even saying that Garn necessarily cheated, even though I think he did. What's crazy is blaming Tom Aspinall for not continuing when he got two of his eyeballs dug out. I mean, we've all seen the replay. His knuckle was buried in his eye. His finger went all the way in. Now, I'm sorry, if he then gets blamed for that and says you should fight on when he's not the one who made the error, it's fucking ridiculous. There are millions of pounds on the line for him. His title's on the line. His career's on the line. If he continued compromised against a fucking massive unit like Garn, he could end up getting even more hurt. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. If I was in that situation, in the exact same situation, I would have done the exact same thing. And the fact that people are angry with Tom Aspinall and going on like he's some kind of pussy is mad. It's mad. It's a tragic set of events that happened, and I feel like people are having their opinions based off the guy that they like as opposed to pure MMA. But partisan bias is all part of it, Ernie Johnson. Like I obviously try to keep as impartial as I can, but we all have our favorites and people that we like and don't like. And obviously, we're more like it's like with Manel Cap here. What you're saying is 100% right. With Manel Cap, when Manel Cap cheated in his fight against Bruno Silva, I think it was, I didn't give a singular fuck. I genuinely didn't. So you're right. We're biased and we're bullshitters. But it doesn't take away from the fact that cheating is not great and there should be something to prevent it. And the sport needs to be a lot more consistent. How you doing, cool kid? Nice to meet you. That's nice long hair you have there, sir or madam. Can't tell. The picture's very small. I don't do stations. I fucking hate Facebook. I hate it. I do fuck with Twitter every now and then, but what's wrong? What wrong way did Christ teach to live? He fought greedy, evil Jews that spoke against the Roman Empire to his detriment. Yeah. Hey, Unc, what you doing? How you doing, Jacques? Yeah, Yuri. I mean, again, I appreciate the fact. Yeah, I mean, and Jesus was one. He was a Jew. I mean, I was thinking the same thing when it was said, but I guess it's not relevant either way because obviously we're talking about something that happened, transpired 2,000 years ago. From what has been obviously written in scripture and whatnot, Jesus primarily was somebody who tried to demonstrate a good way of living and about caring and loving each other, and I think that should be championed. Hi, bro. How you doing, Islamic Hardys? Nice to see you. Nothing much is going on, man. We're just chilling, talking away, having a good time, and hopefully having some respectful chat. You know, it's been another nice evening. He was Palestinian. Well, Jesus definitely weren't some white boy, but anyway. Oh, for people to say he quit is so fucking disrespectful and lunatic. I do like how Aspinall fans have to deal with dummies saying he quit, as they are literally cut from the same cloth. I mean, Ernie, what you're saying there is both can be right. I'm not saying that Garn necessarily cheated, but he is responsible for the fight ending the way that it did. Because the way that he poked and then kind of dug in, for me, looked a little bit disgusting. And because he has had issues in the past of cheating with back of the head shots and stuff like that, I didn't really know him that much as a cheater, if I'm being honest. So it didn't really I didn't really notice it too much until somebody pointed it out to me. But I'm not saying he cheated. I'm saying he's responsible for the fight ending the way it did. Tom had nothing to do with it. And I think you're right. I think there was bias on both sides. The people who are saying that Tom quit don't like him and clearly rage baiting. And the people who are saying that Garn is a cheating cunt probably are the same. That they're not just seeing it as it was a reactive thing that you do. You put your fingers out. And that's the way it is. Love from Pakistan. Great to see you here, bro. You're very welcome. You feel free to talk about whatever you want. As long as it's respectful. And Ting, did you watch the UFC debut of... I feel like I'm being tricked here. Yes, they were all Jewish. Christ fought the Pharisees and scribes that withheld and taxed the Torah's reading. They preferred that people were literate and gave up on the world that Christ inherited. I wish I could say that I'm more religiously literate, and I did grow up as a Catholic, but I haven't studied enough texts, to be perfectly honest. Call him what he is. He's a dirty fighter. I mean, people aren't... Tom shouldn't have lunged into his fingers. I know that. I mean, I'm not saying that Garn doesn't cheat in every fight because I'm aware of the back of the headshots and him eye poking in the past. I didn't really notice it until somebody pointed it out, and I've seen it I mean, you're the same as me, Westy. I watch every fight, and sometimes you do miss details. There are certainly more scummy people in the sport, and for me, he wasn't somebody who was outwardly known for it, but doesn't mean that he didn't. It just means that I didn't obviously observe it as well as some other people did. This is why Christ chose apostles that were illiterate and for the people over literate snobs. I'm going to have to take your word for it. I feel like studying religious texts is something that I really need to take the time to do. I'm just worried about it because I feel like I genuinely live my life as like a caring, sensitive, generous person who believes in not doing wrong to anyone. So I'm kind of worried about what overly analyzing religious texts might do to me, because I've seen people really come out the other side of it really weird, you know. And I don't really want to fuck with my mood right now, seeing as I can be influenced quite easily. I love this consistency. Matua, you are the man. I've just got to say that now. Matua is the only guy I know on this platform who can be right and wrong, and it's so hard to distinguish between the two. Frankie, even the way you just said that puts credence to dummy saying he cheated. It's a fucking fight. Eye pokes, groin shots happen once in a while, and I think that's fair to say, Ernie. I don't think anyone goes out there to intentionally cheat, or most people don't. And in the heat of a fight, I certainly think with stuff like groin shots, eye pokes, stuff like that, a lot of the time it does happen just in the heat of the moment. I'm not saying he went there to intentionally fight, and I do think what you're saying is reasonable. I don't think Gon would go out there to do that. My point is that in these circumstances, I guaranteed you, if cheating was more consistently, or not cheating, but forget cheating, let's take the word cheating out of it and let's call it rule breaking. If you're going to put rule breaking in effect, you have to enforce those rules with some kind of punishment. Because right now, 95% of fighters who inflict on the rules don't get correctly punished for them. And we've seen where fighters have been eye poked, kicked in the nuts. It's bullshit. It's just some troll. Don't worry about it, Hayden. We've seen where fights can be prematurely ended or somebody compromised because they've been illegally hit. And I think that's where some consistency needs to come in. They either need to remove all of it and say, fuck it, we can all do what we want. Or these are the rules. If you break them, you lose a point. And I guarantee you, incidences like cage grabbing, glove grabbing would certainly happen a lot less. Whereas with nut shots and eye pokes, I think we'd still see as much of those as we do now. But I think things like cage grabbing and glove grabbing and stuff should be instantly. I like that ref at the beginning of the. I can't remember who did it. It was when those two flyweights fought, and then one of them grabbed the cage, and he ended up losing the whole fight because of that. He was winning, and then he's grabbed the cage to reverse position, lost the point, lost the fight. That's how it should go. But I do understand that with like things like nut shots and eye pokes, it's a little bit more. How you doing, Bodhi? What's good, man? Good to have you back. Welcome back to the channel. You're a name I definitely recognize. Oh man, the gays have turned up, or a gay has turned up. Northwest, why would Gon be cheating when he was winning the fight? I just can't stand. I don't feel like he was winning the fight. I don't feel like he was. I feel like Tom was dominating the center of the cage. He was pushing him back. He was landing the bigger thudding shots, but Gon obviously got his nose leaking, and he was getting that, and he was getting the jab going. I think you can make a case for either man. I think this concept that Gon was fucking walking him and just destroying him. He took some very heavy leg kicks. He was being backed up. Tom was dictating where the fight was going. I think you can make a case for both. Greetings from the North American Homosexual Society. We are very big fans of yours. We would like to fly you out to Vegas on the 16th to take part and create content for our gay week. Any interest? No, thank you. Thanks for the troll. I've got nothing against the gay community, but I'm not the representative that you need. Sorry. What's up, Fortnite gamers? How you doing, Canon Videos? I've never played Fortnite. I own a copy of it, but I've never played it. Not really my thing. I'm not 9. It wasn't Tom's fault. Maybe Gon didn't mean to eye poke, though I do not believe that. But fouls need to be punished. Fuck this unintentional rhetoric. I think when a fight is changed, like if the direction or course of a fight is changed, it needs to be punished. Yeah, it was Raposo and Axum. Yeah. So I think the consistency was great on that one. But then later on down the card, same ref didn't dock a point for the same thing. The rules are stupid. Grounded knees is a disqualification if the fighter can't continue, but eye pokes, which are far more dangerous and can cause permanent damage, are not treated the same. Gaz Ninja, you've nailed it. When you look at that, when you look at the replay of what Gon did to Tom's eye, whether he did it intentional or not, that was a fight-ending situation. he poked the eye in, then dug in. I think you saying he was starting to win the fight, I don't agree with that. I felt like he was slowing down. I felt like he was getting controlled where the fight was going. Tom landed some really nasty leg kicks to the thigh, which was slowing Garn's movement down. It looked like Tom was kind of moving him into position. Tom at no point, if you take the fact that he was oozing blood a bit, yeah, he didn't look like he was hurt or he was slowing down, in my opinion. You can make the opinion that you felt like Garn was winning that round and even potentially winning the fight, but going on like he was taking over and fucking Tom up is a bit of an over exaggeration, in my opinion. And I'm not a Tom Aspinall fan. I don't give a fuck. I genuinely think. You think they should fight butt naked for it to be 100% fair? How would that help? How would that help? Anders, you must be Swedish. That's a fucking Swedish comment if I've ever seen one. You little freak. Or an instant fine plus a DQ. I don't see any issue why they can't go to I mean, the Tom thing was different because obviously he was done. He couldn't continue fighting. But in most of those situations, go to the end of the round, see when any infractions have taken place, and take points off then. Lol, eye pokes suck. I had my retina scratched. I had to feel my way around the house for like 2 weeks. I don't think Tom looked gassed in the slightest. That is complete and utter rage bait bullshit. That's nonsense. Couple of weeks ago, we watched a guy get fouled. Then the ref rushed them back in and they got finished right after. And that to me is far stupider. There is a lot of money on the line. There is legacy on the line. Tom was clearly compromised by something that somebody else did that was against the rules. If I'm him, if you can't see, you can't see. I'm not continuing with one fucking eye. And he got poked in both eyes. Admittedly, one of them was worse. But Abs, Haunter's really good at like trolling. He's got it under. There's an overhead view of the entire Garn fight. The angle shows Tom getting into his rhythm right before the eye poke. And this is from Machua, yeah, who said that Garn was going to win. Machua has been pushing Garn winning for ages. Are you trans? No. Are you gay? No. You smell like shit. I happen to be a very clean individual. I take my hygiene very seriously. You gotta get memberships on your YouTube channel, bro. Get paid for this stuff. Nah, Euro. So basically, when I started out this channel, I made a promise to all my subscribers. I made a just answer me this, Anders. Are you Swedish? Just answer the question. Yeah, I made a promise to all my subscribers from the very beginning that I never would monetize, and I never will. I don't want to make money from this. I just want like a really good community that we can all enjoy. And it feels like ours and not just, oh, this is another guy trying to take money from us. It's the only way I'm going to make myself distinct from everyone else on here. I'm not shitting on people who monetize and do stuff like that. I don't think I should be doing that. I don't think it's the right direction for me. And like I said, I mean, everyone here gets a chance to talk and gets to, we get a chance to like share our opinions. I try to talk to everyone and to engage with everyone. So you don't need to pay to get your point across. Are you from the UK? I'm Irish, but I grew up in the UK. Guess what? What? Chefs of your caliber follow strict hygienic guidelines. It is very important to me. You won't get a dime from me, sir, nor am I asking. I don't need your money. That's also the point as well. You look like Elon Musk. Thank you very much, Tony DiCaprio. I'm not sure how to take that really. He does have a very weird face, this old Elon. Could be worse though. Elon, how are you? I'm absolutely fine, mate. Absolutely fine. I've had a pretty good day. Got a lot of work done. I'm taking my son to a chocolate factory tomorrow, so that should be fun. Yeah. Enjoying life, mate. I don't think I look anything like Elon either, but I don't think I look like half the guys people say I look like. Are you a Paddy fan? Nah, not really. I think he's a decent fighter, but I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about him. I hope Ilya beats him up. Thoughts on the Indian poop flinging festival. I don't really have any thoughts on that. Fucking hell. YouTube is better than professorship. It's definitely much less work. I mean, coming on here and just blabbering takes no effort on my side whatsoever. It can be a little bit. Paper, how you doing, man? Sorry, but all my money is tied up. Are you that same cunt who keeps coming in here, the Liverpool cunt as well? How you doing, Paper? Good to see you here, man. Another guy who's always here supporting the channel. I appreciate you. We're doing really well on the likes front as well. We've hit 64, which is insane to me. More than a month ago, I wasn't doing any numbers like this, so I really appreciate all of you. And the chat's constantly flowing, which is exactly what we want. Do you follow football? I do. I'm a Newcastle United supporter, and I'm a big football fan in general. I know a lot about it. I played it as a kid. I've watched it since I was a kid. I love football. I do. Sometimes it can be boring as fuck, but it's a nice thing to just stick on and enjoy. You can have it on in the background. You don't have to pay too much attention to it. And I enjoy the banter between fellow mates, where you can just give it to each other. That sounded zesty. I take that back. I'm doing good, man. How are you? I'm wonderful, man. I've had a good day. I've got a lot of work done. I've got a big promotion interview coming up soon, so I wanted to prepare for that. If you give me time to prepare, I always murder it. So I'm looking forward to it. This dude is so friendly. Not a single piece of hate in you, bro, for real. I mean, there's sometimes when I can come out with some base stuff, but sometimes I'm just doing it for entertainment value. Like I make fun of women quite a lot. But do I really mean it? Hello from Germany. How you doing, Dirt Eagle? Nice to meet you. So where are you from in Germany? What's your take on Arsenal? Will they win this season? They're probably going to win this league this season. I hate Arsenal because most of my friends are Arsenal fans, and they are the dumbest fans I've ever met. The dumbest, most entitled fans I've ever encountered. But it's maybe because I know more Arsenal fans. And the ones who are most active on social media, I'm always worried about a fan base, that glaze about things that happened 20 years ago and still act like they're a massive club or a relevant club or a winning club when they're not. So fuck Arsenal, but to be honest with you, I'm more angry at Liverpool right now after all the arrogant shit they did with Alexander Isak. So and watching him be absolutely shit is very satisfying for me. Yeah, sorry, Yuri, that was a really bad. I live at the Nuremberg ring. What? You live in a racetrack. Perhaps I'm being ignorant. But shout out to you. Welcome to the channel. What's the maximum position you can get at a university? Can you become president if you tried? You can become the dean or headmaster, depending on how you want to refer to it. I don't think that's something I'd be very good at. Frankie is a Western Hemisphere guy. Soccer is super boring for us. 90 minutes and no scoring would sound crazy. Ernie, I can't disagree with that. And the fact that Americans don't like draws as well is really funny to me. I was about to subscribe, but no. The way you represented Arsenal fans, now I'm embarrassed. Bro, I have to keep it real, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I just find general fans of the club to be just insufferably stupid fans. But I think it's because the ones who have the loudest voice are the ones who, it's just the glazing that you do. And no, do you know what it is as well? It's the amount of crying you do about referees. And I'll give an example here. When Newcastle played Arsenal the other day, Gabriel punched our player in the face. And all Arsenal fans went on like, oh no, he didn't punch him. Then he did a prime Gianluigi Buffon moment where he basically saved a goal from going in, then scored the winning goal, and there was no crying about VAR then. I just don't like the hypocrisy. For real, I miss Queen Elizabeth. Are Australians quite fond of the royal family? I've never been a big royal family guy. I always used to like Princess Diana was a good bird, and Harry was based, but the rest of them are kind of weirdos, incestuous weirdos. I totally agree with you. We have a lot of plastic fans. You have a lot of dumb fans. Arsenal was a good club. It's your fans that make me hate you. Your fans are dumb, real dumb. Like not all of you, but the majority of you are dumb. You sound like a reasonable fella. It's the hypocrisy. It's the crying about VAR, but then when it happens to you, I'm a very honest fan. If things happen in games, If things happen in games that I feel like my team has got away with, I'm very honest. If we play shit, I admit that we played shit. If we were lucky, I say that we're lucky. Arsenal fans can't do that by and large. Arsenal fans are the worst in history. They were blaming the Queen's death for their loss one time. Exactly. They're just dumb fans. I'm from India though, but I've been following Arsenal since 10 years. I used to work for Sky. Wow, that's awesome, bro. I mean, I I used to enjoy watching Arsenal back in the day when they had like Henri, Vieira. They were a great club. I enjoyed watching them. And as a Newcastle fan, I'm kind of able to separate myself because we were never in the running for anything. So, oh, the Brighton owner's amazing. He owns Hearts in Scotland at the moment, who are doing unbelievable. What's his name again? Fuck. Begins with a B, right? For some reason, I can't remember his name. Very good owner. And that club is run beautifully. For a small club like that to do as well as they are. What's Brighton's owner's name? Fuck me. He owns a few football clubs. I'm gonna kick myself when I see what his name is. I'm gonna kick myself when I see this cunt's name. Tony Bloom. Great owner. One of the best owners in the league. Princess Diana is a dime piece with class. I completely agree. Definitely murdered, by the way. About to marry a Muslim guy. And what do you know? Yeah. Interesting. Anyway, boys, we're approaching 3 hours now. So, like I said, I've got to get up early for the chocolate factory. And no, that's not a euphemism. I can't stand Liverpool fans at the moment. They act like Jewish as if they were promised every year. Liverpool fans are fucking annoying as well. I used to be actually, because my brother supports Liverpool, and I used to be kind of like not a Liverpool fan, but they were like my second team because I wanted him to do well. But the way they've behaved during this whole Isak saga and how arrogant they've been towards us, I'm like, fuck them. Why is your nose so wide? My nose is sharp, mate. If you're gonna insult anything about my nose, say it's as sharp as a pencil, mate. Saying that my nose is wide is weird. I've got quite a nice sharp nose, mate. It's like a dagger. Arsenal hold a place in my heart though, because their owner is Stan Kroenke, who owns the Kroenke is a dog shit owner. Actually, he's not that bad. He's not that bad. Anyway, guys, Hayden, it was a real pleasure. Speak soon. Always a pleasure, man. You've been fantastic in the last 2 streams, and having subscribers like you is awesome. Obviously, the OGs that have turned up, you know who you are. Anton, I will not kick myself in the balls. Ishan, why were you born with flippers? All right. Crystal, really good to see you as well. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thanks to all of you. If you haven't liked the stream already, I'd really appreciate if you did so. Frankie, what's the local team for the City of London? Every other city town has a team, right? So it's because London has so many different areas that beef with each other. Like North and South don't get along, East and West don't get along. It's a whole weird thing. I would argue that the biggest team in London is actually Chelsea, just because of what they've won. Just because of what they've won. Arsenal have never won a European trophy. It's embarrassing. And they think they're bigger than Chelsea. It's embarrassing. Anyway, guys, it's been a wonderful experience again. I'm really glad that I came on. There's a small possibility that I might be back tomorrow. If you want to go live and continue a conversation with somebody, Northwest 425 is about to go online. He's a homeless YouTuber that has I'm sure can show you a very different perspective on life and share some experiences that might be interesting to you. Really good bloke as well. So if you could jump over to Northwest 425 and jump on his live stream, I'm sure he'd appreciate the company. And, he always needs donations as well. Genuinely good guy, homeless YouTuber. And I'm sure would really appreciate your patronage. Appian, you're another one who's just been an absolute treasure to have picked up. Shout out to Gaz Ninja. Shout out to Ernie. Great to have you here. The conversations you get going have always been amazing. DM Tabor, happy to see you. Westy and all the mods who have kept the chat under control. Really appreciate it. And even to all the trolls who came in and talk shit. Raju, I'm really glad you popped by. To anyone who's still here, PayPal, Dirt Eagle, welcome to the chat. Euro, you've been fucking amazing as well. I hope you subscribe and we see you pop up every now and then because that would be amazing. You've brought a lot to this conversation. Even Haunter, you managed to behave yourself today, so fair play to you. Northwest, much love as well. Anders, sorry about the Swedish. 100% Swedish. What gave it away? Sorry, man, I missed that comment. It's the base sexuality in your comments. Swedish people have a very funny attitude towards sex, and it makes me laugh. Bodhi, was really great to have you back. Yeah, to everyone new and old who's been part of this growth that we've been going through recently, it's been real special, and I hope it continues. Gain Shillis as well. Shout out to you. It's been real fun having you in. Have a wonderful rest of your day. I could be back tomorrow, but if not, it will be Wednesday, and we'll try and sort out a day when we can do the subscribers coming in and having a chance to state their opinions and to talk about things. I think that could be a really nice thing for the channel to do. The only thing I would say is it's only going to be able to be once a week or once every so often, because I think mostly with the chat, they quite like the opportunity to have all their opinions shared. And what happens is when we've got loads of people on camera, often the chat gets ignored, and that can be problematic. But Northwest is going online now. Much love to all of you. So it's Northwest 425. Northwest 425. Much love, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Please like and subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. And I look forward to seeing you either tomorrow or latest on Wednesday. Shout out to all of you. In a bit, guys. In a bit. Peace. Appreciate that, Ernie. You're a fucking legend.